If that doesn't get you pumped, I don't know what to do for you. Right there is Dropkick Murphys for our Boston trip.
It's quite a popular song in Boston.
Boy, is it.
They played it at UFC. I went to UFC the next night, and they played it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it gets the place going pretty nicely.
Oh, that's just such a great song. What is it? What's the name of it officially?
Going up to Boston.
Going up to Boston, right?
Shipping up to Boston.
Shipping up to Boston.
Right.
Well, we shipped up to Boston, and we had a good time, Jim Norton.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, one of my favorite cities, and everything was good. The show went great.
Show went excellent.
Yeah, I was happy with the people that turned up, and I think I'll get something decent out of it.
Right.
You never know until you edit. It's like I never feel great until it's edited and put together. Once it's done, it feels good.
Well, I was watching from the truck, and it's going to look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We're talking about your special that you filmed up there in Somerville at the Somerville Theater outside of Boston. Because when you say Boston and then you say Somerville, they're like, no, it's Somerville. It's not actually Boston.
Yeah.
We're our own people here.
Yeah, it's a little bit outside of Boston.
Actually, I shouldn't do that because the people up in Boston were beyond cool.
Yeah.
They were so cool to us. It was great to see a lot of old faces, a lot of new faces. And it was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, the set, I didn't know what the set was going to look like, because Michelle, who's producing it, and we talked about it. I saw a few pictures, but I just had no grasp on what it looked like when I got there, and I was happy with how they did the stage, and, I felt like it was what I wanted.
Crowds were great.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the best place. It's, for me, best place to perform.
I would just suggest maybe next time you could do it in the spring, summer, fall, so we could walk around a little bit and enjoy ourselves.
It was fucking hideous.
Holy shit! It was It was 9 degrees on Friday when we arrived.
Yeah.
Or Friday. Wait, when did we go up there? Yeah, Friday, right? 9 degrees. And then it got better as the weekend went. But
yeah, 20. It was a nice balmy 20. I'm going out in between shows to look like at the truck and see footage and see, what the lighting looked like.
Yeah.
And it's 20 fucking degrees. I'm like, why am I here?
I don't know. Next time you got to do it in the spring, the summer. Boston is such a great walking city. You leave your hotel and you just wander. There's so much great shit to bump into.
It got nice, though. It got nice the day after. It went up to 48 degrees.
Oh.
On Sunday.
Really?
So we stayed the extra day and had a delightful evening.
At the UFC?
Yeah, me and Kenny did. Like an alternative couple. We fucking stayed. We vacationed in Boston for the day.
Nice.
And went to watch the fight.
But that just shows you how great Boston is, because you could still have a good time even though the weather's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I mean, and I normally don't like to stay in a town ever when I'm done. When I'm done working, like I want to get the fuck out.
I know you do.
I want to hang out. I usually want to drive home that night.
Right.
But I'm like, how am I not going to go to UFC when it's right here?
Yeah. I only have one complaint. Maybe next time we could pick a hotel that doesn't cater to dogs.
Yeah.
I had an allergy attack. My little immune system can't handle dogs.
No, I guess my immune system is really seeing the trenches.
It's been in the trenches.
Yeah, there's no problem with dogs.
They had a beautiful lounge up there at this hotel. What is it, the Marlowe? Give them a little plug.
The Marlowe, Hotel Marlowe.
In general, they do a very, very good job. And they have this loungy area where you can grab a cocktail. They have a fireplace, and they have, couches. It's very just a wonderful lounge to sit and have a drink. And then you learn, if you don't know ahead of time that they allow dogs there, oh boy, are you in trouble when you sit on those couches with the dog hair, which I did.
Why would they let them jump on the couches? Like, if you're going to have a pet-friendly floor, that's fine. But keep them off the fucking couches in the lounge.
No, that's pretty much their lounge. Because then, later on, I came back to the hotel, and I saw that same lounge that I thought was just a cool place to have maybe a drink or a cup of coffee or something, filled with dogs just barking and yapping and humping each other.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. There was a huge German Shepherd pretty much sitting exactly where I was sitting a few hours beforehand.
It's like a real dog fuck fest in there.
Right.
Uncalled for.
And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm coming down finally with a cold, And I think it's allergies. And then they only allow the dogs on the 7th floor. This is the weirdest fucking thing. Have you heard of these hotels before?
No.
Where they're dog friendly?
No, but it's smart. I mean, I see why they do it, because then anyone in town who's got a dog will go there.
Yeah. Well, when we pulled up to the hotel on Friday, I thought it was kind of just cute that they had a dog bowl outside the hotel filled with dog bones. I'm like, oh, look at these hipsters being, hip. But I didn't realize that was for all the dogs that were going to be checking in that day.
And they can just eat each other's bones. Like, the dogs just saliva chew on each other's bones. I guess they don't care.
Right. What? They don't have any fucking STDs, these dogs.
I guess they eat their own shit. I don't know why I'm surprised they'll share a bone.
They have no problem licking each other's taints.
Yeah.
And assholes and then licking each other on the fucking mouth, but they don't catch anything?
We get off the floor, we get off the 8th floor, and the first time I saw a dog in the hotel, I almost humiliated myself.
All right.
Because I saw a little girl with a dog, and I was like, oh, and it was a fucking midget. And I'm not kidding. I literally didn't register because I looked at the dog first and then just saw a little person.
Right.
And I was like, and I'm not even being politically correct. I mean, I just saw like a little human being.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the dog, and it was a fucking grown-up. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, that is wonderful.
So do you ever realize you're an eighth of an inch away from absolutely making an asshole of yourself?
Sure. Did I ever tell you the midget story with my kid? We were walking past the Apple store, and there was a little person walking, and I was mortified. It takes a lot to mortify me. Kenny could do it very easily, by the way.
Every day when he just shows up.
He is brutal. He could absolutely get me going. But we're walking behind a little person, and my son, just as loud as could be, goes, Daddy, where's that kid's mommy? And I'm like, shh, I'll explain later. Like, how do you explain midgets to a 4-year-old? They don't understand. What are you laughing? What's up there, Sammy?
I just walked in and heard you say, try to explain midgets to a 4-year-old.
Oh. Well, there's so much they want answers to everything at 4. It challenges your own intellect. And he's going, where? And I go, like, I'll tell you later. And then, no, where's her mommy? She's out here by herself. She couldn't have been more than like 3 feet tall.
That's a fair question from a 4-year-old. That's not a 4-year-old being shitty.
Oh, no, of course not.
That's a fair question.
He doesn't know how to be shitty yet.
Look at the little child with the wider legs than I have. Right. Why does that child have wider legs than me?
But if you don't answer the question with these kids, they keep asking. I'm like, shut up, fuck. And then
we had to pick them up and whisper it and go, that's very rude. That's a punishment.
Right. God, that's God's punishment. And if you're not good, this will happen to you. Anyway, so you saw one in the hotel, and,
but I
and you thought it was a kid, right?
Yeah, it was just that weird momentary. It was a half a second, but you realize you're about to go into like kid energy, like that little way you are around a child. And I just thank God there was a dog there, but I was really almost embarrassed myself.
Yeah, then they allowed dogs on our floor.
That annoyed me. And then Kenny asked, of course, one of the people.
Yeah.
And he goes, we saw someone. Kenny ratted her right out.
Oh, good.
And I think she said because it was a lot of times little people have those handicapped rooms.
Right.
Where they have the lower.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I never knew what those lower keyholes were for. I always thought there were people in wheelchairs, which I guess they can be.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, little people. And that's so they had like the door with the lower peephole.
You can thank Matt Roloff for that. That was his big thing.
Was it really?
Yeah, Little People Big World. He had a little business going. He had a little business going and get these hotels to make it friendly for little people. Yeah. So
it doesn't hurt anything just to have the extra keyhole there.
But I'm telling you, I had no idea.
Ladders all over the room, kind of cute.
Little step ladders.
Oh, look, a little ladder up to the doorknob.
But that's dangerous for people. I get really bad around dogs, and I had no idea. And I'm just like gasping for air in the middle of the night, trying to breathe, just thinking I got this heavy cold. And I bet you it was the dog allergies.
Maybe, yeah.
And then they're just allowing them on the 8th floor because, little people need special rooms. They got to warn you. They definitely got to warn you about this shit before you get there.
Well, that means the 7th floor little person room was taken.
Oh, I see.
So there were probably a couple of little people.
So the 7th floor was all dogs and their owners.
Dog-friendly, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and then the owners of these dogs get really cocky. Jonathan almost got bit by one of them in the lounge. It was hilarious, and the lady thought it was funny that this dog's jumping on him, trying to bite him, and wouldn't pull the leash back because she was pretty much saying, "Look, this is a hotel for us and our dogs."
Yes, you and your giant bulge are like interlopers in this world of dog friendly.
Jonathan hates when you point out that bulge in front. He absolutely gets fucking mad.
It's very shy.
But then why does he have like these jeans that are professionally designed and altered?
He can't help it. It's almost like if you're really rich and every time you see someone, they point out your fortune.
Right.
So, how's all that money? You're like, all right.
But he should just wear baggy jeans and be done with it. But it's always tight in front and the bulge is hanging. He hangs to the left.
Yeah.
And it's halfway down his thigh.
Can't help himself.
No, the other thing he can't help is saying April Falls.
Yeah.
Sam, no less than, I want to be accurate, no less than 30 times. No less than 30 times on the way to Boston on the Acceler. Jimmy would do his Edgar.
Yeah, it was fun.
And Jonathan then would yell at the top of his lungs for the whole train to hear, and it was packed because it was a Friday train. April Fool's!
He can't help it.
And then would he apologize to the people around him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then he knows that he's being a nuisance and goes, I'm sorry, right away. But he can't help himself. Jimmy's right.
I said on the pre-show that he's like somebody who's been hypnotized.
Yeah.
And gets these verbal cues that he's unaware of.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I thought
he's
Jimmy
like.
was kind of exaggerating, but
No.
wow. He just cannot help himself. He has to say it every fucking time.
No.
Troy and me got him once. When we were in Montreal, we got him going through customs. Like, he skipped through an entire line of people somehow because he just talks his way in front of them.
Yeah.
And so he's looking at us, and he's like, come on, guys. And we're like, no, we're not going to skip the whole line. And as he's walking around the whole entire line, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and there's dozens of miserable people lining up to try to get through customs.
Yeah.
And he just yells,
It's almost like it makes me regret what I've created. Sometimes I feel like I'm really this is my representative in show business. But he's really good. People really love him. Like, he's one-on-one when he's talking to people. I've never met anybody who's better at just kind of
Conversing.
Yeah, he's a great conversationalist, and whenever you go to a meeting with him, people just like him. Like, he's really great, but he's slightly insane.
You know, he has a million new stories to tell every time you see him.
Yeah.
And Kenny has the same 10.
Yeah, Kenny has
Kenny has the same 10, but he had a new audience for his stories. And then I just sit there like nodding like I've
What
never
story
heard.
are you talking about?
The Dice one where Dice likes to pick.
Oh, yeah.
See, you know. Sure. Dice likes to pick.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's probably told the story on the air. Basically, there was some gambling involved, and Kenny had to give the money that Dice owed to a casino. And Kenny counted the money, and it was short about $49,000. And Kenny was new on the job. See, I almost know this word for word.
20
was it 29?
I believe 20 something. Yeah.
29,000 short. Kenny's new on the job, so he's like, "Holy shit, Dice is gonna think I took 29,000." Doesn't know what to do. Calls up Dice, and Dice goes, "Oh yeah, I like to pick." Meaning he just picks money out of these wads and spends it. So. And then Kenny has to call Dice's father to make up the difference so they could pay the hotel back. He told the story. He got a great response, but
yeah.
I've heard the story probably 12 times.
Yeah. Kenny has a lot of cop stories, though, and I forget how long he was a cop for. Like, we'll be on the road, and we'll talk about something, and he'll start talking about a surveillance they did, or just a guy a fucking pedo they caught, and then you're like, I never heard this story. And then you're like, oh yeah, he was a cop for fucking well over 20 years.
Right.
They do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, you forget, like, you see somebody, you forget, like, that was a day in, day out job. I only knew him touring with Dice, but, you know, that was a day in, day out job for fucking decades.
And he was an old school cop when all hell hit the fan.
Yeah, long before those pesky dashboard cams.
Right, that's what he calls
Get in the
them.
way and wreck everything.
Let's say hi to Morley, it looks like, in Canada. Morley.
Hey, how's it going?
Morley, who's safer?
What's going on?
Jimmy, I need a little bit of advice.
Okay.
Hey, so I'm with this chick. I got her going. We fuck. She comes, and her pussy prolapse comes outside of her pussy.
Uh-huh.
And she had to sit for like an hour. She was sitting for an hour, but halfway through, I couldn't touch her clit, but I could squeeze my dick into the prolapsed pussy. And she fucking was just coming. I didn't have to fuck her. I couldn't move because it hurt. I just had to
Here's my advice.
Wait, her pussy fell out?
Well, it looked fucking weird, but it was fucking amazing. It was like a straw come out of her pussy, and fucking I could stick my dick in it. I could see her stretch out. This.
Oh my God, I'm getting
I was just wondering if
sick.
Jimmy ever come across.
No, here's my advice. Never talk to that person again. That's terrible. It's a terrible story, sir. It's fucking horrifying.
Sounds like her uterus is in the middle of falling out or something.
Yeah, I like a big vagina, but not pushed out from the inside.
Yeah, how many kids has she had?
No, that's the thing. She had no kids. Tight. Like when we started banging, it was a great pussy.
And you pulled her.
You
pink socked her pussy?
Yeah, after she came, it was like she just kept contracting and contracting, and it fucking come outside of her lips.
Did she explain this to you? Did she try pushing it back in?
She said that never happened to her before.
Wow.
I couldn't touch her clit, but her pussy was fine to,
I never heard of that, to be honest. So I don't really know what you're saying. I've never heard of it.
Are you a big man down there?
Yeah.
No, I'm just a regular fucking
Got big
dude.
pecker?
You got a big one with a big mushroom head that's just pulling everything out?
Yeah, maybe the fucking bottom of your cap got caught on it. Fucking ripped her insides out.
I have never heard of a prolapse pussy.
No.
Never heard of it.
Great name for a band, though.
Yeah. I know my mom's uterus was... My mom's uterus started falling out of her body because she had 7 kids.
Ugh.
So, but I would assume she was a younger lady, right?
She was, yeah.
All right. I don't know what to tell you on that.
Did her uterus really start falling out?
Oh, yeah, it happens if you have too many kids. Got to staple that shit back into place.
What about pussy farts? You guys like pussy farts?
No one likes them, sir. They just exist.
Pussy farts embarrass women. You got to make believe you're not hearing them. Or you tell them it's okay, it's okay. It just means you're very excited.
Yeah.
Compliments to the chef is what you tell them.
He thinks I'm laughing with him. Thank you, Morley.
Thanks, guys.
It must be the cold air up there.
Goodbye, Morley.
I've never heard of the prolapse pussy thing.
No, I have not either. That actually made me go like, ugh.
Right.
I don't like anything prolapsed. I like meaty is fine, but I don't like a prolapsed anus or a prolapsed vagina. You don't want internal organs coming out. It's just gross.
No. I'm trying to think what else with the Boston trip. I mean, we were all up there for business, making sure Jimmy had a good special, but it was just a good time, man.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was we went up there for a day. I mean, we went up Friday afternoon. Well, what do I do? Hit the gym with Kenny. Fucking, we all have a nice dinner with the agent, and then Saturday, wake up and shoot. I mean, wake up, work out, and shoot. That's basically it.
Yeah, where were we? The Atlantic Grill up there?
I don't remember the name of the place.
Yeah, they did a fine job on Boylston. Just trying to be a little local for the Boston people today.
I'm sure they adore it.
Yeah, and a lot of fans flew in. That couple, actually, I think it was a brother-sister combo at the restaurant that we took a picture with.
Oh, yeah, were they from Vegas?
They flew in from Vegas just to see you. And then I saw other people flying from, where the hell? One was from South Carolina, I think they told me. And, they were driving 4 or 5 hours just to see you.
I also think people come up for the game and then just say they happen to be there for me.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm here for you. Really? What else are you doing? Well, I'm going to happen to hit the Patriots game. Cool. How lucky for us it worked out. And
maybe take a peek at the UFC as well.
Right.
It was a very busy weekend up there. I took the first train out on Sunday. I had to get home.
She went to UFC. It was awesome.
Actually, I had a lot of opportunities to go to the Patriots game. I wanted to do that, because that's a big playoff game. I love the UFC, but I probably would have picked the Patriots over UFC this time.
I watched a little bit of that.
It was a blowout, so in the end, it was a good move that I didn't stick around for that. But now they're looking into if they deflated the footballs. What is that? Does anyone know what this is about?
Belichick's a real fucking cheat, isn't he?
Well, they can't just... I don't know, is he? They hate him that much that they just want to try to find any excuse to knock him down a peg or two.
Did he do it?
There's no way they deflated footballs. Why would you take that chance?
I don't know.
And the game was over pretty early, so if you were deflating footballs, wouldn't you just put the air back in the balls real fast and say, all right, we don't need them deflated anymore?
Yeah, wouldn't both teams have access to them, and would nobody have felt it?
Right. Well,
only the Patriots would have access to their balls.
Travis, what's the story?
Each team is responsible for bringing their own balls.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the home team has to supply each team has to supply a dozen, and then the home team also supplies an additional dozen just in case.
Okay.
But each team tailors their balls to their quarterback, by how baseballs
I didn't know that.
are there's a special mud to put on them so that the grip is better for baseballs. Same thing kind of applies to football, but different quarterbacks like their balls different ways. So the thought is that perhaps the Patriots slightly deflated their balls so that Tom Brady could have a better grip in the rain.
Well, then let me ask you a question. What the fuck Why wouldn't every quarterback just have to use a brand new ball out of the box? Why do they do that shit?
Well, because they're slippery right out of the box, just like baseballs are slippery right out of the box. It's they're not made. They don't come out of the box ready to be played, especially in
But do you think the NFL would have a whole,
Well, the thing is that they're checked by officials like hours before the game. So if they were deflated, then that means that somebody would have had to do that after they were officially checked.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like.
So does Andrew
really do it?
Andrew Luck has to use the same balls,
or he uses his own balls.
So he could do whatever the fuck with his balls.
As long as
he can deflate and fondle his own balls.
As long as it falls under the rules.
Well, then what's the problem? Who cares if he deflated a little? If they're going to let them all do their own shit, right. I say you get one big bin in the fucking, and they all got to grab a ball out of it. Here, throw this.
There you go.
That's my solution.
And are you allowed to deflate the balls to a certain extent?
I don't think so, no.
So, yeah, but they're your balls.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you. I mean, there's parameters, and
so they might have been outside their parameters.
Yeah, just like you can't put tar on a baseball.
Right. So they probably deflate the balls a little bit.
So if there's an interception,
Andrew Luck sucked on Sunday. Who cares?
Yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah, it's not like
they weren't going to win that game, no matter what. Are they sore losers, Travis?
No, the story is that, during like a second quarter interception, I guess, whoever intercepted it on the Colts noticed something and brought it up to a guy on the sidelines, who then brought it up to the head coach, who then brought it up to the general manager, who then brought it up to the NFL.
So he caught it, and then he had to be a tattletale.
And since somebody said something, the NFL has to investigate.
Okay.
It's not like, there's this big conspiracy against the Patriots.
By the way, Captain Ken in Tampa says you're wrong, Travis.
About what?
I don't know. Let's find out. Captain Ken, I don't think Travis is wrong. I'm going to go on record and say that.
What am I wrong about?
Okay, I got a buddy that works for the Buccaneers. He works the sidelines. They can't let anybody hold the ball. So there's all the kickers, all the punters, they try to give the guy their gloves after the game and stuff like that, just so they can hold the ball, so they can go sit on it to make it oblong or something.
So what am I wrong about?
Yeah, what is he wrong about?
Wait, the ball can't be deflated. It's run by the league. It's run by the NFL once the home team turns the balls over.
Right, I never said that they deflated it. I'm telling the story.
Ooh.
So,
I personally don't think it happened, because so much would have had to happen for such an insignificant thing.
Yeah, you put that little pin in there, let a little air out. It's the whole thing.
And with
2 seconds.
I would just use the mini balls. Get a nice grip on those.
Yeah, those would be...
So basically, the Patriots hand over their balls for the day, and then it's up to the umps to distribute them, I would assume.
Correct. And the sideline people keep a hold of the balls. They won't let the players touch the balls, hold them.
All right, so the Colts are just being crybabies. They got their ass kicked, and they got to look for an excuse.
And the advantage would have worked both ways. The other quarterback would have had the same grip.
But how would he get the same grip if each team has their own balls?
Each team provides their own balls.
So when
provide their own balls.
So when you punt, then the ump goes, all right, now time to use the other team's balls.
No, the home team provides the balls.
No, they don't. The home team provides extra balls, but both teams provide their own balls.
Let me ask you one thing though: if when there's an interception, do they just give the fucking ball back to the team who originally had it?
Travis?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
When there's an interception, do they give the ball back to the team?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Wow, I never knew all this was going down. I'm with
I suspected it.
Travis usually gets all this stuff right, because he does a lot more reading than the average person, so...
Travis is stupid.
Yeah, you think? But wouldn't the umps know that the balls didn't feel a little right
that's
after
the thing. Like,
after the Patriots handed them over for the game?
So what? Nobody else noticed aside from this one guy? Like I don't buy it personally.
All right, it's just nonsense. The Patriots had a great fucking win. That Seattle game was ridiculous. Did you watch it? It's one of the best football games ever.
I did watch that. That was quite an ending.
And the Packers, I don't know what happens with these teams. You got to keep playing.
Well, they fucking go into that stupid prevent defense, or they just they just try to run the clock out, and it's stupid.
They were playing conservative the entire game, and it bit them in the ass in the end. A whole bunch of field goals. They should try to punch one of those in for a score, don't you think? It's easy to say now, but they were saying it at the time as well. Like, you got to go for one of these fucking things.
I was happy they lost. Whenever a team, people have different philosophies. Like when a team beats your team, some people are like, I want that team to go to the Super Bowl just so my team lost to the best team in the league.
Right.
Not me. If your team beats whatever team I like, I want your team either dead in a plane crash or I want you to suffer as I have suffered.
Or humiliated.
The next weekend, I want you to feel the way I felt.
You want the ball to bounce off your helmet.
Absolutely. Oh, boy, there's a lot of drops.
Wow. On that onside. Bounced right off his fucking helmet, right off his fucking head.
Oh, was it when I think of the Colts game? There was a lot of fucking balls. Who was getting the ball bounced off their face? They literally dropped like fucking 5 passes.
There was one in the Colts game as well, but the Packers with that onside was the big one where it just bounced off his fucking helmet.
You think that guy regrets that?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, after that, they still had an opportunity, and they did come back and tie it.
One of the storylines of the Seattle Seahawks game is all the people that started leaving.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they thought, fuck, we're done. And then there were a few pictures on Twitter where it's all these people outside the stadium with a huge sign that says no re-entry, and they're all just hanging outside the door, pretty much begging them to let them back in, and they would not do it.
Good.
So they left the game early. That's their problem.
So you get to beat traffic. Now you missed the big comeback. Going for the big win.
Hey, I'm not saying I wouldn't be one of those guys outside.
Yeah, you'd be like that after the second quarter.
I enjoy leaving a game early, especially when there's 80,000 other people, thinking about the ride home.
If there's a blowout, yeah, but like concerts, I never leave early. I always watch the end. It's like it sucks, but it's like,
what you miss one really good song in the encore, and then 2 or 3 where they fool around a little bit or do a cover. Fuck them.
No, I like to see the old.
At that point, you're all nice on the highway by yourself on the way home. Beautiful. We left WrestleMania early.
We lost interest, though. I didn't have big interest in WrestleMania. It was fun to watch.
Did we see the main event?
No, we walked out during, I think, Brock's match. It was kind of cool to be there and just see what those guys do.
No, you didn't see the main event.
Who was the main event? Oh,
John Cena and The Rock.
Good for them. Me and Jimmy were I call it Giant Stadium. We were leaving Giant Stadium. There was only one other car moving, and it was one of those security cars where the lights were on, just kind of just on lightly, just checking things out in the parking lot. And the only other car was Jimmy and me fucking leaving.
So it was nippy out.
And man, there was a packed stadium in our rear view, and we have clear sailing all the way back to Manhattan, and we couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, I think probably fewer than 1% left early.
No, I'm not kidding. We were the only other car moving in the entire parking lot. We were the only one.
Well, you left during one of the highlight matches of the show, and then still
during.
During.
What's
the word? During.
Wait, how did you say it?
I don't know.
Say it again.
During.
Just say casually in a sentence. You left during. You left during?
During.
No, during.
No one says during.
Look, I suck at words, but that one's a good one. During.
During.
Are you saying during?
During.
Ew. Ew. Fix your lips when you talk. They're fucking busted.
Your time in England really fucked up some of your words. Just some.
You left during.
Be like a British woman.
I think you're saying during.
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 You left during.
There's a J in there somewhere, I think. During.
Yes, you left during.
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 You left during the Blitzkrieg. Yuck.
That is, I think, proper pronunciation.
Oh, stop it.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Is the doctor still on the line about it wasn't a prolapsed vagina after all. Fuck, where did you go, buddy? Call back. Ryan in Indiana. I was going to go to you and you're gone now. Ryan, what's up?
I got a little bit more on the deflated football issue here.
Oh,
okay.
In Indiana, it's kind of on the news. It actually stems back to their game in November. They had a Sunday night or a Monday night game back in November.
Allegedly.
And Brady in that game, and they noticed that then they didn't really say anything. They thought it was kind of weird. And then with his pick on Sunday, DeQuell Jackson, the linebacker that picked it off, brought it over, and that's really how it started back in November.
Well, with all the shit.
Go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I think that's, it's the NFL. I don't know if they brought it up to them in November or not, because that game was in Indy. But and the guy from Tampa is a complete douchebag. Each team does provide. Travis was completely right.
Yeah.
Each team does provide their own balls.
No,
and,
I would put my money on Travis almost every time. He really reads a lot.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, being here in Indiana, that's all we're talking about. It didn't matter. They could have played with, soccer, but we still would have got our ass handed to us.
Look, man,
we're not there yet. But
you guys need more than Andrew Luck. You need a few more people there to go for a real run for the Super Bowl.
His name should be Andrew No Luck.
He had a shitty game though, brother.
You hear what I said?
Yeah. I agree. So yeah. But,
all right.
It does.
Okay, now you're babbling. All right.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm nervous. All right. Thank you.
All right. Imus talked about Jimmy and his trannies this morning. Can we get a clip of that? That just came in. Mike in Jersey. Mike.
What's up, guys? Jim, how do you like that? Your boy talking about you being a transvestite lover.
Well, transvestite wouldn't be accurate. I mean, I like them as people, but transsexuals are different. So.
What's a transvestite now?
Probably about 300. Oh, you mean
what's the difference between a transvestite and a transgender?
Transgender, I guess, I can't say it from that point of view, but I'm guessing that they feel, or they're female and male. I don't know. I mean, the transvestite is a guy who dresses up like a woman. There's a difference.
And he doesn't feel like he's a woman?
No,
necessarily?
I don't think he wants breasts or eventually to get it.
And the transgender feels like they're in the wrong body, and so they're trying to do a few things.
Yeah, they want breasts. They
get
want
some tits.
And a pussy, yeah. A lot of times they want.
But they want to keep the dick sometimes.
Sometimes, and sometimes they want a pussy.
So does that mean they're still feeling like they're a woman?
I don't know.
That whole thing's still confusing.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles on it that I don't get either.
If you put a penis in your mouth, are you gay?
Well, let's hope not.
All right, we're going to get the clip from Imus's show. Imus is a good boy.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Yeah, he starts out, Jim, by like kissing your butt a little bit. Then all of a sudden he goes right into it. So I was like, oh, wait, I thought they were boys, but...
What was he disgusted by it?
You know what? He started asking his host, like, hey, how do you get into that? And then they started joking around about it, like it's like a sports car, Well, I'm like,
that's fine.
Well, we'll listen to the clip. I mean, we'll march right across the street and pull his fucking hair if he was acting up.
That fine fucking mane of hair he has.
That's right.
Yeah, man, you guys are the best. You make me ride just to work every day, man.
Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate it. Let's go back to Boston. Now, the thing about this deflate gate, they're calling it.
Oh, God. They have to everything with a gate.
I know. With all the shit Belichick has been involved with the spying and this and that over the years, why the fuck would he take this chance in the AFC Championship game?
He may do it all the time.
A home fucking game.
Maybe he
where
does
they have such an advantage. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hey.
So I just wanted to bring up, a couple weeks ago on the Sunday night game, they had Aaron Rodgers interviewed by Chris Collinsworth, and he was talking about
that must have been good.
Overinflate the balls to see it's easier to throw a tighter spiral for him, and he does it and sees if he gets caught each game. And that became no issue at all. But now when Bill Belichick underinflates the ball, the whole world is going to end. It's kind of hypocritical to me.
Because I think a lot of the league dislikes Belichick immensely.
They hate him.
They hate him. So they're always looking for something, to get him for.
Absolutely. He's a hateable guy. He's very smug. I think people, much like the Yankees, hate the Patriots because they've been so good for so long.
Yeah.
Easy team to hate on,
I'm worried about our Patriots in the Super Bowl with these Seattle Seahawks.
I am as well, but I think they're going to do it. Tom Brady's going to win number 4 and go down as the best quarterback in history.
I'm very worried, though. Seahawks are animals.
They are. They have a great defense, great offense.
Although Richard Sherman might be pretty fucked up for the Super Bowl, right? Did he dislocate his elbow or something?
Yeah, I don't know why the other team didn't attack him. At least run some plays at him and see if it was, make him make some tackles or whatever. It seemed like bad play call by Green Bay that game. You know?
I was thinking the same thing, but then I'm thinking to myself, is he playing fucking possum? Just how he was holding his arm on the field. I'm like, is he fucking with them and hoping they're going to, test him?
Right, which is why you could have ran it at him instead of throwing it at him. Make sure he has to make some tackles, maybe re-injure it, hurt it more, whatever. See if he's for real or if he's just playing possum, But
Seahawks had a great comeback, but the Packers truly lost that fucking game.
Yeah, I don't think the Seahawks won. The Packers lost. Absolutely.
That's a great way to look at it.
They still had to make the big comeback, but the Packers, that was their game, man. They fucked it up. Man, I don't know shit about football, but I know that much.
Yeah, it was horrible. All right, well, I'm checking out, boys.
Thank you, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Good times in Boston. Good times. Obviously, it didn't work too well if he got intercepted. One of the Colts players caught an interception, and he thought it felt soft. Yeah, that's what I think Travis said.
Oh, that's how the whole thing started.
Yeah, and he went right up to the ump and said, man, this feels a little soft. But if you're in cold weather, what does that do to the balls? Does that deflate them a little bit, make them a little softer, Travis? Do you know that shit?
I'm sorry?
He has no idea.
If you're in cold weather and you got a football, does it feel a little softer in general?
I would assume it's harder to grip in the cold.
But how does it feel, though? Does it feel like it's tight?
Yeah.
Or does it feel like it's missing some air?
No, it probably feels like it's tight.
Someone's saying, doesn't cold air deflate the ball a little? I don't know. I think so.
Why do they call everything Gate? It's after Watergate, and that was the name of the hotel.
Right.
It wasn't like it was something Gate. It's like everything being called Gate.
I know.
Something Gate.
I know. It's too bad. They should be talking about how good the Patriots looked on Sunday. Instead, it's on the front page of our papers here in New York.
We're all sick of the Patriots.
Look at the Post, how clever they are. Read the headline. It's great.
NFL squeezes Patriots balls. Good one. Fucking Chip Posterson.
Do you get it, though?
Oh, no. The Daily News is worse.
What do they say?
Call them the Deflatriots.
They did not write that.
I wish I made that up.
What about the back cover?
What does the back cover say?
Ball buster, and it's Bill with his hoodie holding the AFC title.
Right.
Your cheating heart.
See, just let them have their win. They looked great on Sunday.
Oh, what a rivalry.
Our team sucks. Yeah. Jets suck. Giants suck.
I think they're tired of Belichick's cheating, that's all.
I don't know if he's cheating a lot.
I think he's a big cheater.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care, though.
I think they all cheat.
I think Brady cheats.
Really?
No.
At what, his taxes?
Yes, I think he's a cheater.
I have a feeling that everyone in the NFL, tries to get away with a few things.
Yeah, I'm sure they all do.
You got to try not to get caught, I guess.
Well, don't let them have their own fucking ball. Make every person play with like I said, a ball out of a fucking bin. Brand new slippery ball. Tough shit.
But why doesn't someone explain this? It sounds
Just
like
go to Modell's like an hour before the game.
Absolutely, but we need 30. For what? The game? It's in an hour.
It seems like they should have one ball for everyone, yes, that the NFL should decide on. But it also seems like you hand over your balls, and then the umps have them.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't the umps test out the balls before the game starts and make sure they're all within the parameters?
Your logo's on the ball.
Oh, your logo's on the ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have two big boxes for the balls? They just throw them in two big boxes, and the ump goes, all right, let's take one out now for the Colts.
Yeah, we need a Patriots one, and they're fucking rifling through this giant cardboard box with
right.
fucking balls.
There's other balls in there, wiffle balls, basketballs. Where the fuck are the footballs? We need another one for the game. It sounds ridiculous is the point here. The balls do not deflate. I think they're filled with nitrogen. Now we're getting crazy. You think they're filled with nitrogen, Travis?
I have no idea. Now we're just getting... Adrian's saying no.
Yeah, how would he know?
He's our ball expert?
Yeah.
By the way, Adrian, where were you on Saturday?
Never called.
Oh.
I didn't have your fucking phone number. You said you were going up there with your brother for the big Jim Norton special.
We were up there.
And then what? You needed a beer that badly and left right away?
No, we left after Jim said during the show that they wouldn't be out there for photos. I figured you guys would remain backstage and prep for the next show.
I had nothing to prep. I was wandering around, meeting people and saying hi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was filling in the blank because, Jimmy was preparing for the second show.
Yeah, I always come out after. In between shows, I don't, though, if I'm shooting, because they have stuff they got to, like adjustments you got to make with the lighting and all that nonsense.
Yeah, I was hoping to find you guys after, but once you announced that, I figured you guys would all be backstage.
So you ran to a bar?
Yeah, we headed right down the road.
What bar did you go to?
I think it was called Joshua Tree.
I heard that place is good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Kind of a down and dirty type place, right?
Yeah, we went to a couple bars, though, all around. We did a little tour.
That Davis, what is it called? Square, I guess?
Yeah.
That's a nice little area up there in Somerville.
And Boston is a cool city all around.
Yeah, it is.
What is this controversy with Michael Moore? He said that, he didn't say it exactly as they're saying he said it.
He's just an asshole, though. Michael Moore just takes it too far the other way. It's just ridiculous.
Well, his uncle was killed by a sniper in World War II.
All right, so he might not be happy with snipers in general.
We were taught snipers were cowards. We'll shoot you in the back. Snipers aren't heroes, and invaders are worse. I think it's unfair because it's like, if that's your job in the military, you're technically a lot of times protecting.
Yeah, it's part
of your guys.
It's an important job.
It's a strategic. I mean, I get our pilots. Are pilots cowards because they don't lug the bombs on their back and then hit them with a hammer and make them go off?
Right.
I mean, is every soldier a coward because they use a gun and not a knife? I mean, come on, you just...
using drones, is that cowardly? Or is that just taking advantage of the new technology that's out there?
Yeah.
I think snipers are extremely important in these situations. They cover the guys that are going in and doing some of the shit.
Strategically, it's a part of war. Every single country has them. I don't think that's just a stupid thing.
I think Michael Moore can't help himself.
Yeah.
Shortly after his tweet proclaiming snipers aren't heroes netted a barrage of criticism, documentary filmmaker Michael Moore tried to explain where that sentiment came from. His war veteran father. The controversial tweet Sunday came as American Sniper, the Oscar-nominated biopic of a former Navy SEAL and sharpshooter, won the weekend box office. Everyone is talking about this movie, saying it's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We really, really liked Chris Kyle when he came in here. He was so fucking cool.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
My uncle killed by sniper in WW2, Moore tweeted. We were taught snipers were cowards. We'll shoot you in the back. Snipers aren't heroes, and invaders are worse. Why are invaders worse?
I'm guessing he's saying, I'm imagining he's implying the U.S. and Iraq. Just saying that we're worse than cowards or whatever because we're invading another country.
Right. So, yeah, snipers will shoot you in the head, in the back, whatever it takes. You know, but they're getting things done. They're not just sitting out there like, oh, I'm bored. I guess I'll just hang out on the top of this mountain and just shoot random people. Every fucking shot they take, they think about forever. Sometimes they sit. I remember Chris Kyle saying sometimes you sit there for 24, 36 straight hours waiting for the shot.
Yeah.
They don't just they think it over. They don't just shoot willy-nilly. Every shot is important. They overthink it and go, all right, we need to do this now.
And didn't Ventura win that lawsuit?
Yeah, he did.
Was it settled?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I was reading that he won.
Possibly.
I don't know if he won money yet or...
Man, I don't know. When Chris Kyle was in here, he was beyond believable when he told the story, first on our show, by the way, and then Bill O'Reilly got all the fucking credit of punching Jesse Ventura in a bar. It seemed extremely believable.
You know what else, though? And I don't like Ventura at all, but his defense seemed believable, too. When I heard him defending himself and just saying it's simply not true or whatever,
right?
He sounded like a guy who had heard something that wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know who to believe.
Then, were there witnesses that saw Chris Kyle punch Jesse Ventura?
Did anybody hear any witness?
I think there were witnesses, but then there were also people who said it never happened. This happened so long ago, I can't remember.
Well, yeah, I have no idea.
I can't believe... it's hard to believe, I should say, that Chris Kyle was lying to us that day. That would be a real bummer if he was.
Unless it was...
Was he doing it to get book sales up?
Maybe.
But it's like, why say something that's blatantly not true?
Because maybe he didn't plan on having to elaborate.
Yeah.
Again,
I can see it from both ways.
Just because he was a great sniper and a tremendous soldier doesn't mean that he didn't bullshit either. I don't,
Well, it was in his book, but it was
vague.
Vague. Yeah. But a lot of people went, wow, that seems like he's talking about Jesse Ventura, but he didn't name him by name, which is a little strange. If you truly felt like it happened, why wouldn't you just say, yeah, I punched Jesse Ventura in the face?
Right, unless you wanted
because he was acting up at this Marine's funeral or whatever it was.
Yeah, unless you wanted to imply it. Unless you wanted to imply it without that, but you didn't want to say it, and then when you're called out, you got to kind of say it.
And Jesse Ventura seems like a jerk, but not the kind of person who would like act up at a funeral.
Yeah, you know? I can't picture him going. Well, it's supposed to be a seal bar.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, I just can't picture him doing that.
Man, yeah, that's a weird one. I don't know. People are asking, by the way, if we could put up the Chris Kyle interview on our podcast from a few years ago. He told his whole story on this show. We had him for an hour. He was great. Maybe we can find that. I don't think it's ever been replayed.
I'm sure we have it.
Ventura said it damaged his reputation in the SEAL community.
Right.
Because a lot of those guys will never forgive him now, thinking he said that.
And he felt like he had to sue even after Chris Kyle's death to get his name back.
Well, you're also suing the book company, and he said that it's the lawyers that are being paid for. The wife's not probably paying for the lawyers. That's the insurance, because, the book, I'm guessing...
Right.
He was insurance.
A lot of people really hated on Jesse Ventura when he continued the lawsuit after Chris Kyle's death. But then again, if you're trying to, get your name back,
yeah,
I think most people would probably continue with the lawsuit. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just felt like he was so believable that day.
Yeah, but who knows?
The backlash, back to the Michael Moore thing, the backlash soon followed. Former U.S. House Speaker and CNN contributor Newt Gingrich invited Moore to spend some time with terrorist cells overseas, then weigh in on the value of snipers. Yeah, the snipers are extremely valuable. I don't know what Michael Moore's talking about, but Moore explained his tweet in a Facebook post. Oh, I didn't read this yet. My dad was in the 1st Marine Division in the South Pacific in World War II. His brother, my uncle, Lawrence Moore, was an Army paratrooper and was killed by a Japanese sniper 70 years ago next month, Moore wrote. My dad always said snipers are cowards. They don't believe in a fair fight. But they have their own snipers. It's part of the war.
Yeah. Fair fight would be fist fighting. That's the reason. I mean, that's his dad saying that, of course, because his brother died. But a fucking fair fight would be everybody walks up with their fist and punches each other and then goes home.
Right. Like someone coming up from behind you and cold cocking you just isn't right. In war?
So you're saying that all flanking maneuvers are cowardly. So I guess when you do like a strategic thing where half the division goes this way and then half the division kind of loops around to the back,
yeah,
is half the division cowards because they're sneaking up behind you?
Of course. Of course not. Just isn't right. It's cowardly to shoot a person in the back. Only a coward will shoot someone who can't shoot back. Hey, it sucks that his uncle was taken out by a sniper. I would like to know the details of that.
Yes,
of his death.
All airlines.
Was it a random sniper just being a complete cocksucker, or was it important to their side?
Yeah. That means all pilots, all people on fucking Navy boats who fire weapons in are cowards because they're not looking you right in the face. That's just silly. But I get why his dad would say that. If your fucking brother was killed by a sniper, you're not going to fucking praise the, great qualities of snipers. One shot your brother.
They got kids over there in Iraq where they're strapped with bombs and walk out and start start acting like an innocent child. Next thing you know, they're blowing up soldiers.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? There's not a fair fight going on over there. But Moore stressed that his comments were not a jab at the movie American Sniper, which earned, of course it was a jab at American Sniper. Why don't you have the balls to say it? Because everyone's talking about American Sniper this weekend, which earned $105 million in weekend ticket sales and nabbed 6 Academy Award nominations last week, including Best Picture. The box office take trumped previous records for a January opening. Okay. I didn't say a word about American Sniper in my tweets, Moore wrote on Facebook. That's just being dishonest. You know what you were doing. American Sniper's hot, and then all of a sudden you tweet about snipers being cowards. Stop. Yeah. You can make the connection very easily on this one. Here's what I think about American Sniper. Awesome performance from Bradley Cooper, one of the best of the year, great editing, costumes, hair, makeup, superb. He just has to be an asshole all the time, Michael Moore.
Yeah, he's consistent, though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He was at the Comedy Cellar a couple weeks ago.
Was he?
I didn't see him, but everybody said he was very pleasant.
He was pleasant when he was in here.
Yeah, he's nice. He's one-on-one. He's a nice guy.
He was certainly pleasant. He backed us back in the day when we got fired. That's when we met him for the first time.
Really?
Yeah. He absolutely backed us. He was like, it sucked what happened to you guys, blah, 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 keep doing your thing. He said something like, I forget the exact quote now, but he basically said, the world needs punk rockers like yourselves. So, I don't know. Whatever.
Punk rockers? Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, Michael.
Michael Moore's uncle was an invader. Let's go to this call. Let's say hi to... It sucks that he lost his uncle that way, but Jesus.
He didn't know him. He ain't 70.
Kevin in South Carolina, go ahead.
Hello. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey.
He said invaders are worse. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Snipers are bad, invaders are worse. If his uncle was killed in Japan, South Pacific, he invaded Japan. I mean, you can agree or disagree with the Japanese, what they were doing, but we invaded their property. So, I mean, his uncle was no better than the people he's trashing.
Well, that doesn't really count as an invasion if you're responding to a fucking bombs going off.
It's still... It was still Japanese soil.
I know that, but that's not considered an invasion. I mean, it is, but it's a different tone. You know what he's talking about.
Right.
Well, we're splitting hairs.
Yeah. I like splitting hairs. It shows we have good aim.
I was most likely to split hairs.
All right.
Ew. Thank you, cutie.
Let's say hi to Chris in Maine. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Chris, welcome aboard.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, I was just suggesting that you check out the latest Men's Journal article on Jesse Ventura. Goes into detail on this whole Chris Kyle bit and calls you out a couple of times as kind of bringing this whole Chris Kyle knocks Jesse Ventura out as the first guys to do that.
Who what'd you say? Who does?
It calls us out. What happened was we were having a fine interview with Chris Kyle. We did not read the book ahead of time, and someone called in, and he seemed to be a guy that really had some inside info, and basically asked Chris Kyle about the story that's going around that was kind of vague in his book, and then that's when he gave a lot of detail on our show.
Absolutely, yeah. They just mentioned that the first time it kind of came to light was on your show.
Right.
Who's they?
Men's
Journal article.
Men's Journal did a whole article on the Jesse Ventura thing. So what are they saying in the article? That Chris Kyle, were they leaning toward Chris Kyle might have made this up, or what?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of talk actually in the article that there were some real inconsistencies, and that they were kind of taking Jesse Ventura's side in the article. It was a little bit of a biopic on Jesse Ventura and where he is today, but they mentioned that there were some people that said he didn't do it, and there were some people that said he absolutely did. So I mean, it was a little bit of a messy story, to tell you the truth.
Right. All right. I'll try to read that article.
Check it out. I mean, it's pretty interesting in terms of just trying to figure out how screwed up Jesse Ventura is these days.
All right, brother. Thank you, Chris.
All right, you go.
Yeah. Let's say hi to Matt in Georgia. Matt.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I was the ridiculousness of Twitter. Seth Rogen had a tweet yesterday in regards to American Sniper. He compared it to the scene in Inglourious Bastards where they're watching the movie in Inglourious Bastards that they're watching in the theater. And military moms around just went crazy off on him. I'm surprised that didn't get some heat in the news, but check that out.
What was Seth Rogen's tweet there, Sammy? Is it news today?
Yeah, it's all over the news.
All right. Well, I was busy putting together that fucking robot arm.
Well,
I need to talk about that for 5 minutes after the break. But go ahead.
Seth Rogen tweeted, American Sniper kind of reminds me of the movie that's showing in the third act of Inglourious Bastards, which is a Nazi propaganda movie where one of the Nazi soldiers is shooting a whole bunch of Allied whatever. And then he tweeted, and he got a lot of heat for tweeting
Heat?
that.
Why? Why was there heat?
And then
it's an observation by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, there was a lot of shooting.
He said,
my wife, I'm sorry, my wife and I were riding back on a trip yesterday.
No one gives a fuck about your wife.
My wife! You should do everything for me, leave it to my writing.
She was reading to me all the tweets from the military mom.
Fair enough. Then,
and I was I was like, they're out of their mind. I mean, he didn't mean anything by that tweet, which was
of course
ridiculous.
Not. People.
Anyway,
all right.
Now, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
People are very sensitive about, because some people are wondering if this movie is a propaganda movie, and people are very sensitive about that topic.
Okay.
That's why the tweet. But then Seth Rogen went on to say, I just said something kind of reminded me of something else. I actually liked American Sniper. It just reminded me of the Tarantino scene. I wasn't comparing the two. Big difference between comparing and reminding. apples remind me of oranges. Can't compare them.
Good for him.
Yeah. He wrote, but if you were having a slow news day, you're welcome for me giving you the opportunity to blow something completely out of proportion.
Nice. Good for Seth.
It's amazing. A guy, an actor, just tweets a little observation like that, and everybody's like, fucking shut up.
And then it's sad that he feels, someone like Seth, by the way, because he doesn't give a shit in general, feels like he has to now, defend himself a little bit. But then as he's defending himself, he's at least continuing the jokes. God, we just lost a Marine that was going to explain how important snipers are. What's wrong with these people? They can't wait 2 minutes on the phones?
Snipers are important.
Yeah, maybe he got picked off. That's what he was calling for.
That was a very important phone call. All right, we could take a break, I guess. If you read Chris Kyle's book, he was a pompous, arrogant ass. Not many people would agree with you on that one, John. John?
Yeah, guys, what I was saying is I do appreciate everything that Chris Kyle has done for us and all of his sacrifices. And if you do start to read his book, you do owe it to the guy to finish the book. Because if you do read the book from cover to cover, the majority of his life he was a pretty arrogant, pompous ass. In the beginning of the book, he was talking about how he was such in good shape that he actually gained weight and got out of shape in boot camp and things like that. And his priorities were, first he was a SEAL, then he was a father, then he was a husband, and things like that. And it wasn't more towards the end of his life that he became the person that everyone's portraying him as. And that's where I was getting at with the whole Jesse Ventura thing. There was a time in his life that would seem that he may have, if nothing else, kind of exaggerated a story like that.
Do they cover all that in the movie? They don't watch the movie. I'm not going to read.
The Jesse Ventura thing?
No, I mean Chris Kyle's life, like this guy just said. You saw American Sniper?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
So is it his whole story?
I mean, it's really.
Is it based on the book?
Yeah, but
all right, I'm not reading the book then. That's dumb.
It's not. It's really concentrating on the military aspect. It shows a little bit of how he got there.
Right.
But it's really more concentrating on his tours.
All right.
I've actually told people if you like the movie, you might not want to read the book.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to sit around like at the coffee shop.
Thank you. The one thing about Michael Moore, you can't call anyone a coward that goes over there and fights. What do you think Michael Moore would be doing if he was over in Iraq? He'd be trying to find a real old tree that he could hide behind.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
There you go, you got it. Thank you.
Heavy set.
He wouldn't
find something to eat, probably.
Yeah, or he'd be here working the board.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Where's E-Rock today?
He's having a little vacay.
He just had a little vacay.
He gave himself a couple days.
Didn't we just have a couple days?
Well, I wanted to extend. We had a 3-day weekend. He wanted to give himself a little Rooney on that.
He doesn't even know how to do that right.
No.
Don't you? This is an easy week. It's a quick 4-day week.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you take that day and then maybe push it to a 5-day? A 5-day work week.
It's not a day. It's a couple days.
He's doing more than one?
Week he's off?
No, just a couple.
When's he back?
I think he's back on Thursday.
What? Why wouldn't you spread that out?
He's coming in for Thursday, and then he's going to end the week strong.
Nice. Good for you, Rock.
He's giving himself a little extended Rooney. Why not?
You can't call guys that go over there and fight, and women, cowards. You just can't do that. I can't even imagine being in that situation and how I would handle that. I guess that's what they do in basic training. They fucking rewire your brain so you could just go forward. Because everything in your being would tell you to just find a tree or a hole to hide in until the war's over, and then pop out with some soot on your face and go, "Wow, man, that was brutal."
Yeah, like fucking like Junior in Platoon when he put skeeter repellent on his feet. That's exactly what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
I'm aware of that. I'd be trying to get out of it and go home.
Right.
Or I'd be fucking. I'd stab myself in the leg. I forget the guy's name in the movie, but, John McGinley. Mm-hmm. That's what I would be, one of those guys that self-injures to get out of it.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'd punch myself in the balls real hard.
Yeah, that wouldn't get you out of a war zone.
My balls hurt so much.
Yeah,
Can I go
my
home?
balls are swollen, Sarge. Can you look at them?
Well, I figure, if you went to another man and said, "You're not going to believe this, my balls really hurt a lot."
That would not help.
Yeah.
What?
It's like you're talking about self-injuring. Like Jim stabbing himself. It's like, okay, I have a stab wound.
What if you stab your ball bag?
Why are you going to
That's a
check your
guarantee.
scrotum?
Because a man can understand how important the balls are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, men can also understand like that the leg is important.
I would just hammer punch my own balls.
I think there's weird sexual
what if they
fetishes
fucking
that are showing themselves through this.
No, fuck that. But if I'm trying to get out of a war, though.
Are you a ball mutilator?
Hell fucking no.
A little
But
bit?
what if they swelled up all nice? And then you go, Sarge, you're not going to believe this. I got to show you. And you got a huge fucking swollen scrotum. Will they send you home?
No, I think it's way too risky. I think the balls are not the thing that you try to...
I would just hammer fist over and over again.
It's a bad idea. It would hurt a lot, and I just don't think that it would have long-term effects. That
Yeah,
would
but
keep
they're
you-
looking for the other stuff. If you stab yourself, they're like, oh, it's so obvious you stabbed yourself. No, you're not going home. But they can't possibly fathom that someone's just hammer fisting their own balls over and over again.
But what if then the doctor said this injury lines up perfectly with somebody who was hammer fisting their own balls?
I'll say I got fucking headbutted by a rhino or something. They got that in the Middle East, right?
A rhino?
A baby rhino came out of the bushes. I don't know. It was one of the animals that fucking Saddam had, and when they let all those animals loose.
And it only hit my balls.
Right, over and over again.
But there's no injury, so it would just be your word against theirs.
No, I'm telling you, I'll do it until it's swollen, where it's pretty obvious.
Smashing your balls?
Yes.
They give you a fucking ice pack. Yeah, put this on your bag. Get in there and fight, coward.
Get back in there.
Yeah, I think you should probably try to fall on your arm in a bad way or something like that.
Or
I don't
shoot
think
yourself, man. You just gotta shoot your leg.
It scares me what they do to the guys in basic training, because I think everyone goes in going, fuck, wait, I might actually be over there in the middle of the shit. Yeah. So they got to just rewire yourself,
They probably
rewire the
hammer fist
brain.
your balls just so you're used to that kind of punishment.
God bless the military for real. I can't even imagine.
I could do it. It's easy.
Yeah.
You really think so?
Absolutely. Get right in there, fucking fight, come home, whatever.
and then
badass,
and you would be fine when you came back to the States.
Yeah, I don't care.
No problems whatsoever.
Whatever they want. What, run at 20 miles? Yeah, big deal.
Oh.
Fucking hold 2 guns. Go.
You could do that?
Yeah, easily.
That's so badass.
Absolutely. I just didn't.
Why not?
Yeah, let's do other stuff.
That's so badass.
It's not a fair fight if I'm over there.
But Michael Moore has no business calling anyone a coward that goes to war. He just doesn't. Maybe other military guys, if they came home and they want to throw the coward word around, fine. But not a guy that's never fucking seen any action. That's just bullshit. And that should piss off a lot of people today.
But why is Fox pushing, like, they're talking about Michael Moore and Seth Rogen? Like, who gives a fuck what an actor and a director said about a movie? Like, it's not a real thing. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
If they have an opinion about something, that's fine. But who cares? It's not newsworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! What are we going to do about her? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Moore explained why he said what he said, and it's a dead issue. Who fucking cares?
Right. Or cover it for a little while, but they'll be all over it for, hours and hours, if not a few days.
And then they're going to bring a Navy SEAL on it. It's so obvious that what they're doing is just trying to fill some time.
It's predictable.
It's all it is.
And now that this guy's like, how dare he say... Watch.
Yeah.
So,
but so much
Seth
easier 'cause
Rogen, on behalf of all American veterans who fought for your freedom, you're welcome.
Oh God. All right.
He's not bashing you. God almighty.
You gotta know Seth Rogen, he's always going for some jokes, right?
They probably asked
and observations.
They asked other military guys, and they're probably like, well, no, that's fine. He's just...
Ugh. I don't think Seth Rogen was taking an actual shot at the military.
It's just so predictable that Fox will take one angle, and then MSNBC will take the other. It's just, Jesus Christ. Can you ever line up in an unpredictable place, ever?
Right.
Either of you guys?
That would be nice. I'd watch more if that happened. Where one lousy guy goes, oh, you make a pretty good point there. I never thought of it that way. Kevin in the Marines, or you used to be in the Army. You're up there in Maine. Go ahead, Kevin. You're the one I was hoping that would call back.
No, I'm not. Well, I wasn't in the Marines. I was in the Army, but thanks, Opie. I've been listening to you guys since AAF. The Army prides themselves on their shooters. They're very accurate. They're great people. Most units actually per squad have at least one designated marksman. So,
here's the guy. He's calling back. Mike in Rockland. You're the guy I wanted.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey,
Mike.
So snipers' jobs are number one, they're sought after. You can't just sign up and become a sniper. You got to kind of get picked to be one. But besides taking shots, I mean, they go out in two-man teams, and they're basically the eyes of the battlefield. They're hooked up to the headquarters element, which is, the command of the company, or at least a platoon or a squad. And they basically are not just taking shots. They're not even allowed to take shots without calling in and getting permission to take shots. But they're basically looking and seeing. They're calling in ranges. They're calling in movement that they see, suspicious vehicles. I mean, it's kind of like an endless job. And then on top of that, if their position's given away, they're basically dead because there's only two men fighting.
Yeah, they're in a position where they can see the whole battlefield in front of them. So, yeah, they're calling out all sorts of stuff. You're right. Yeah, I remember Chris Kyle talking about how calculated it is. You just can't, pull that trigger. A lot goes into it before finally everyone decides, yeah, you got to take that shot.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. And then there's a really good book. I forgot the name of it, which doesn't really help.
Happy Endings?
There's a bunch of Marine snipers in Beirut, so this is like in the 80s, and they can't take shots for it was like 60-something days, where guys would come out every day at the same time, like after having tea, and shoot at them. And one day they got the clear to shoot, and they said it was just a shooting gallery. It was just awesome.
Why weren't they allowed to shoot for 60 days?
Yeah.
Because the rules of engagement at the time were we're not allowed to engage. It doesn't matter if you're getting shot at. That's part of the rules of engagement. So if you're getting shot at, you have to be given permission. You have to be given an order to fire back.
I find it very strange that there's rules of war.
Yeah.
I always found that strange.
The only rules of war should be that there is no war.
Unfortunately, the only people that follow the rules are the U.S. Nobody else really follows the rules of war, so...
Right, well, we're above everybody else.
Pointed to that.
The only rules of war should be winning. Good, right?
Yeah. All right there, Mikey. We got to eat now.
Take care, guys.
If that's
Bye,
all right
Mike.
with you.
Manja.
Right. We're going to eat some food. We're going to come back with some Imus audio. Imus taking, I don't know, well, maybe taking a couple little shots at Jim Norton.
Possible.
A lot of audio. They spent a couple minutes on you there, Jim Norton. Imus talks about Norton.
Should've.
We got the audio for right after the break. And we'll get into some other things as well. A little later this morning, going to get Dr. Steve on the phone to talk about the prolapsed pussy. Because I don't think that's possible, Sam Roberts.
It sounds like something that a person could die from.
Yeah, so we'll get to the bottom of that. We had a caller earlier. Maybe listen to the replay today. He swears that the girl's pussy kind of like pink-socked on him or something. I don't know. And he was still having sex with it, but she didn't want her clit touched, and it was swollen, and I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Ah, Paul Stanley's birthday.
This is 100,000 years.
I don't know this song. Sorry about that. Jimmy's just bopping away as I'm just bullshitting with Sam. Turn this up for Jimmy.
Wow, so... This was the song that Peter Criss used to do his drum solo.
Yeah.
They got on Kiss Alive. Yeah. What, how old is Paul Stanley?
63.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. I never got into that song. I think that's when I tapped out. What album was this off?
Kiss Alive. Oh, the original. I think the original was Kiss.
Kiss, yeah.
The first album?
Yeah, but on Kiss Alive is when the drum.
So then I tapped out early.
Yeah. I tapped out in 73 when you were how old?
Honestly, not that old. I told you, I was at the Kiss at first.
For how long? 40 minutes?
But this must have been a deep track, I guess. I don't remember this song.
This is on the Kiss
I can
Alive.
pretend if you like.
This is one of the biggest songs in Kiss Alive because of the drum solo.
Oh my God! Then my Kiss knowledge sucks.
This was a long song because Peter does a long drum solo.
Is it a good drum solo?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it as a kid. I'm sure people would. I wouldn't say he's Ginger Baker, but I mean, I enjoyed it. As a boy, I enjoyed everything Kiss. All things Kiss.
You did?
I did.
Not a fan of the drum solo. Although the Sully Erna one during the Godsmack show was amazing. But in general, when they fucking go to the drum solo, it's time to take a leak. Yeah. Right? And then the bass, boom, 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 starts fooling around with the drummer. It's like, oh, God. You know how many songs I could be listening to right now that you're not going to now be able to play because you have a curfew at this venue?
Yeah, I kind of like it to just do it like it's on the radio.
Right.
Just like I know it, so I could sing along.
Yeah, but sometimes a band wants to take a break. They like a nice long drum solo.
So the lead singer and the lead guitarist could, have sex with a groupie or do some lines off some titties.
Well, now Tommy Clefitos does one during Sabbath shows. And you think that this is how good of a drummer he is.
Yeah.
People love his solo. And people really have a thing with Bill Ward not being there, so it's very hard for people to see someone other than Bill playing.
Sure.
And that's how good Tommy is, that his solo people actually stay for and watch
No
and love. Yeah, you think that they'd boo or give a hard time, but they don't. So
great.
That's one I don't mind.
Our boy Imus, big Imus supporters here.
Yes. Until he said that whole thing about nappy-headed hose, then I
I will always try to defend that one. That was just an amazing fucking thing that happened to him. But anyway, he was talking about old Jimmy Norton a little while ago, and we got the audio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Imus in the morning.
One of my favorite comics is Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Well, works with Opie over at Opie and Norton.
He's all sorts of fucked up. He doesn't know what to call this.
Opie.
I love how people just don't know what to call this. Yeah. They're all confused.
Yes.
It's beautiful. He sounds clogged up all the time these days, huh?
Yeah. Opie and Norton on Sirius XM. And, but Norton, what got me to thinking about this was, was this whole Greg Anthony thing, the basketball analyst, former player,
hooker,
who apparently was soliciting a hooker, well, not apparently, was soliciting a hooker, got caught in a sting operation in Washington, D.C., and was using his computer to try to come up with somebody. It was 6 p.m. the other night. Like that early bird special deal.
Oh, my God. Takes them a while to get to the point. Oh, my God.
And then maybe after this, we could talk about police resources being fucking wasted on a prostitution sting. And that's what they worried about?
Well,
Who gives a fuck?
We do have to fill in the blanks a little bit before we play the other two tracks from Imus. Basically, Greg Anthony suspended indefinitely by CBS Turner Sports after arrest for soliciting prostitute. So he's in a hotel, Washington, D.C. hotel room on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Is it Sunday or Friday?
Friday, sorry. Basketball analyst and former NBA player Greg Anthony was suspended indefinitely by CBS. Okay. He was arrested on a charge of soliciting a prostitute in a Washington, D.C. hotel room. Greg Anthony will not be working, again for CBS this season. CBS spoke. Why? If he's a good analyst, I don't give a fuck. I guess it's illegal activity, though, right?
Yeah, they have to investigate it, I guess. But it's just, who cares, man?
And probably the guy suspending him, or one of them, I'd like to see what you're fucking doing that you haven't been caught doing yet.
Now, they said he used his computer. Was he bringing a girl to his room?
There's not a lot of details on this, because I was trying to read up on it. All we got is, let's see, a CBS spokesman said Saturday. Turner Sports also suspended the TV commentator and said it will have no further comment. Anthony, 47, was arrested on a charge of soliciting a prostitute inside a room at a DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel in downtown Washington just before 6 Friday.
Sting operation. That's what they're worried about in Washington, D.C. All the fucking crime and shootings and drugs. These fucking assholes are catching a guy trying to get blown.
The report also said that Anthony was suspected of using a computer as part of the crime.
He probably contacted her from Eros or one of those sites.
And that his arrest was part of an undercover operation targeting prostitution.
Good. Tax resources. That's very good money well spent.
So how did this go down? They were monitoring maybe a website or something that he was using?
No, they probably set up a dummy account. They probably set up a fake ad on Backpage or one of those.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't understand it, and he went there and probably made the wrong offer, and that was probably, maybe he emailed first or whatever, because this way they have it written what you want.
The hotel's less than a mile from the White House, okay.
I know, really important part.
All right.
You mean the president might have been around while prostitution was going?
Just go across the street from the White House and see what's happening in that park. Oh, my God. Homeless people peeing and shitting all over the place.
JFK deflowered a fucking virgin in that same White House.
Yes.
So stop acting.
Allegedly.
No, he did. I believe her. I believe Mimi. What's he going to do, sue me? He's dead.
Mimi Beardsley. Metropolitan Police Lieutenant Kelvin Kusik said Anthony was released from custody Friday evening. Police say he could face up to 90 days in jail if convicted. He's not going to. He won't face any jail time, but he's fucked as far as his jobs go. He was pretty good as an analyst.
I
don't really understand the details of this story. He was using a computer, so a dummy person basically.
I'm guessing just the police probably made the account because again, that's what I want law enforcement doing, making fake hooker accounts to catch NBA analysts and other guys just trying to get their cock sucked. Good.
So, fake prostitute. He contacts thinking it's a real prostitute. I'm thinking this is how it went down because they're not giving details.
Right.
Then the fake prostitute shows up at the hotel room?
No, I'm guessing he went to her room. Reason being, I'm sure that they have some cops that will show up at your room, but I don't know if you'd want the officer going into the room by herself with the guy. There's no cameras. I mean, she can record, obviously. But if you go to a room, it's easier because there's an adjoining room, I'm sure, that has cops in it.
Right.
And they're videotaping you. They have the room wired for sound. It's just a safer thing because there's probably cops there waiting to grab you.
Right. Well,
plus you could have a gun in your room. Who the fuck knows what you got,
And why do they do these sting operations in general? Like, does the hotel or that area start getting a lot of complaints?
No, it's just another way to morally police people. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's an absolute waste of money.
Especially because they're not doing it, out in public, right?
Catch guys who are trying to fuck underage girls. That's what you should be doing.
In a park somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's public and everyone knows, what the fuck, this is crazy. Someone's got to clean this shit up.
The money that's wasted there, use that to get people who are trafficking women who don't want to be doing prostitution, like whether they're Russian or Chinese.
Right.
Any money you wasted catching this guy, use somewhere else. For sex crimes, for real sex crimes.
When in the end, obviously he's hurting himself a bit, but he's not,
Yeah.
No one else knows about it.
Yeah, if an adult decides she wants to suck your dick for a living, and you as an adult say, I want my dick sucked, and I'm happy to pay for that service, how can you have any issue with that? It's not my business.
All right, so that's what Imus was talking about, and then he brought you up, and he continues here.
Okay.
Possibly. Here we go.
So back to Jim Norton for a second. Jim Norton likes what?
Likes chocolate ice cream.
Bartlett.
A woman with
penis. He likes right?
That's why Rob Bartlett is the best. That's our pal over there. He comes over here every once in a while on vacation, does a little time with us.
Yeah, you always know when Imus is off because fucking Bartlett just shows up.
Yeah, that's our
looking
pal.
lonely.
Beautifully delivered.
Likes the transgender deal, right?
He opened his last special with Bailey J., a woman who has both apparatus.
Right.
Or one apparatus, but not the kind you usually find on women.
Can I make a correction there?
Yes.
It was 2 specials ago. It was Please Be Offended, and it was Eva Lynn, not Bailey J. Eva Lynn was the transsexual in my stand-up special. Bailey was my co-host on The Vice Show.
A woman with a wiener.
Yes.
And why did he do that?
I think because he liked it.
Has he said what he likes about it?
No, but he's a fan.
How do you decide? I mean, at what point does it occur to you that that's what you...
It's like a sports car. You see somebody driving down the highway really fast, you go, man, that looks cool. Boy, when I love one of those.
Oh, I see.
I think that's where it comes
They
from.
become aware of it.
Yeah.
You see somebody else doing it, and you think, well, I'd like to try that.
I don't know.
Well, we got Jimmy right here. Why don't you
love-
answer Imus's question for
I love
everybody?
Imus's. I think Tony's sports car analogy was brilliant.
Perfect.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but Tony Powell came up with a great sports car analogy.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do some people like green and not yellow? Why do some people like bananas? Maybe I should try to pick a better fruit.
Yeah.
Bananas with plums as opposed to tacos. Yeah. No, that's not true. I enjoy tacos very much. Don't get me wrong.
And he continues again here.
Mathematically, it does offer you an exponential number of possibilities. In fact, there are some cases where, biologically, you could actually go F yourself. Now, I've been involved in a number of pretty kinky scenarios and photographed some even sicker ones. Look through my back...
I should explain. He's doing Larry Flint here.
Oh, I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, let me start this clip over. I apologize. Larry Flint, he's doing Larry Flint now, and then Larry Flint, the character Larry Flint here mentions you.
Okay.
Mathematically, it does offer you an exponential number of possibilities. In fact, there are some cases where, biologically, you could actually go F yourself. Now, I've been involved in a number of pretty kinky scenarios, and photographed some even sicker ones. Look through my back issues for a pictorial called Nipple Clamps and Amputees. A while ago, there was a blind item about a celebrity broadcaster and his penchant for the half and half, and I immediately thought, well, that's not news. Everybody knows what Jim Norton likes. Doesn't make him a bad person. He's just open-minded. Or greedy, depending on your point of view. I have no problem with somebody who likes choices. You know, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Not bad.
I don't appreciate that salty implication.
They're enjoying you today over at Imus's show.
Very good. Yes, I heard last week or a month ago, whatever it was, he asked, why are they calling it Opie and Norton? Why are they calling it Opie and Jimmy? Like, I don't know.
You could do Opie and Norton.
It's called the Opie Show.
I think you should feel good that your hobbies are making you more famous. It's adding to your career.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't say it's adding to my career. I would just say it's a point of conversation. I wouldn't say it's adding or subtracting.
Well, there's a buzz. People
it's
really
creating
enjoy.
a buzz about you. You wouldn't have gotten mentions on the Big Imus show this morning if not for your hobbies.
That's a great point.
And that's important.
That's cool. You're right. That's why I do it. You've answered my question.
Yeah.
That's why. It's just so I get a buzz. I'm trying to create a little industry buzz.
You need to get the people talking.
Yeah.
That's
I know
right.
everybody's so fascinated with it.
Industry buzz.
Yeah.
They are fascinated by it because it just brings up a lot of questions.
Yeah, but it's like everybody has stuff. Like some people just like literally want to be handcuffed or like I don't understand people who want to be handcuffed. I'm not saying I think it's crazy, but I like to touch my nipples. I like my hands free. I get really uncomfortable and claustrophobic if my hands are cuffed during sex and I can't enjoy it.
I don't like dicks.
You are one.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly. How do you comb your hair in the morning? What do you just not look and see because you're a dick? All right.
I don't know. I just feel like the penis makes it a gay act.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do feel that way.
But then
some of us have even wondered out loud if it does.
But then you look at Billie J. I mean,
absolutely.
She.
Thank you.
She certainly looks like a female.
Absolutely.
And she gets the heads a turning.
Absolutely.
And then they find out she's got an extra, part.
That's right. Then she gets you.
And then what happens?
And you stop moving and say hello.
This guy is from the NYPD, and he wants to explain why they do prostitution stings.
Okay.
Mikey on Long Island, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Mike.
A lot of the times, Jimmy, what happens is these guys do these Craigslist ads, and they show up to these hotel rooms, and a lot of times there's guys waiting for them, or the prostitutes themselves rob these guys, take whatever they have from them, and then they leave the room and leave.
No, I understand but why aren't they just targeting the girls doing it, like the hookers doing it, not the Johns?
See, what they're doing is, I guess, the Johns are setting themselves up into a position, I guess, to do it. Oh, yeah, I know. I guess not. You know what? You got me on that. Why they do the Johns? A lot of the times they just go for the girls most of the times, but, I don't know why DC's going after the Johns themselves.
Yeah, if they're finding an ad that looks bogus. Like, I can go through ads and tell you which ones half the time are bogus or bait and switch. If you're trying to get people who are committing fucking violent crimes, or like you said, but a lot of, I'll never just, or very rarely will I ever just go to a random hotel. You gotta be so careful, man. That's scary just to show up at some motel in Queens at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're crazy if you do that.
How do you know a bogus ad? Help some of the people out there.
I would say Google the phone number. That's one thing you can do. And if they say like, hey, just back in town, and you Google the phone number, and there's 8 different ads in different locations with that number, or different faces, or different girl, it's probably bullshit. Go to a review website, say, like the Erotic Review or whatever, and look up reviews on the person. And sometimes they work under different names, but if they're always good reviews, then you go, okay, this person's legit.
What, just back in town is a red flag?
No, not at all.
Well, there's certain things that, jump out. Like Jimmy said, you got to look at, the location. But a lot of these hotels, too, these prostitutes hang out in the bars in the hotel and stuff like that. And a lot of the hotels don't like the females being in there because they know what happens. And, if a guy's getting robbed inside their hotel, she goes back to the room with him, he goes to the bathroom, they take their stuff. It doesn't look good on the hotel.
Yeah, I understand that where they're trying to prevent crimes. That's fine. But, I mean, this is like a moral thing. When you're in D.C. and you're getting Johns with a fake ad, that's just a moral cleanup. It's just nonsense. You're probably trying to catch politicians or whoever you're trying to catch. Yeah. It's just stupid. It's just a waste.
Yeah. Unfortunately in this case it worked because they got Anthony, out of it. So, they got, and it's, I guess maybe, I don't know if it deters people now, like, maybe I shouldn't do this because they're going to lock me up. Look what happened to, somebody high profile.
It's been around, it's been around forever. It's not going to deter people in general, maybe just a few. I mean, obviously they should try to figure out how to legalize it in some way, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, but...
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, there's bad apples in every bunch. So there's always going to be people that are trying to make a living, that are trying to do the right thing, albeit by prostitution. But there's also people that look as an opportunity to take advantage of other people themselves. So
yeah, I mean, like the pimps and the trafficking and all that stuff. That to me is a big part of the problem. Like, because women are afraid to report stuff because they're doing something illegal. And then there's the other thinking where they've done this in certain countries, where you make selling sex legal, but buying it illegal. So what which I hate, of course, because that means that if there's a hooker is not committing a crime by being a prostitute, but you are committing a crime by paying her. Mm-hmm. So if you do something to her, she won't feel criminalized if she goes to the fucking cops. She can go, yeah, I'm a hooker, I'm selling pussy, and this guy hit me. Right. Or this guy robbed me. But you, as the John, can't go and complain about that because that's a crime. It's just stupid.
Do you guys go after all the women coming into this country illegally to do prostitutions? Prostitution against their will.
I guess. I mean, yeah, of course.
Sex slaves.
They do. Yeah, they have teams, and Vice has set up teams like that to go after that. But like a precinct level, they just do like these minor things more to deter the Johns themselves from getting robbed by these prostitutes.
It just seems like the Greg Anthony one is a complete waste of time, considering there's probably other things that are way more important in that world that they could clean up. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Mikey. Thank you, brother.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
NYPD.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Now I'm being texted by a police officer who is saying that business owners, the city council, they bitch about the prostitutes all the time. No one wants to be bothered with it anymore. But the reality is, too bad if they bitch about it. Like, if you have street hookers in front of your place and it's bringing in a lower element of people and crime, I can understand that. But if somebody's in a hotel doing business like that, it just shouldn't be a crime.
Yeah.
It should not be an illegal activity because it should not be anybody's business. And if it wasn't illegal, by the way, they'd be able to set up in areas and go, this is what we do here. Mm-hmm. This is where prostitutes are.
Right.
So then you would go there, so it wouldn't be in front of your store, and it wouldn't be in your hotel. Maybe you could do something like that where you make that like any other business where there are parameters. Like, you can't just go into a hotel and go, hi, I'm Caldor, or I'm Bradley's, or any other fucking, chain store which probably doesn't exist anymore. Or you can't say I'm a 7-Eleven and open up in a hotel room. And come on in, I'll sell you some beef jerky, I'll sell you some coffee. What? Mm-hmm. You're not a fucking 7-Eleven. You can't do that. Right. So maybe if that's the way prostitution was, where you have certain places where you allow it, like, mean certain legitimate business, and it's taxed like any other job, and it's regulated, and it's protected, and the girls are disease tested, you got to be a certain age to do it, then you could target illegal prostitution, people that are, of course, underage and, of course, being forced. And, you set up some kind of a thing where if you're a prostitute and you work in a place and there's abuse going on, or about people being forced to do it, where, again, they're immigrants, there's a whole anonymous thing where you can report that and get the police on it, and this way they would even know where to look for these fucking scumbags who are forcing girls to do it, who don't want to do it, or forcing underage girls to do it.
Well, kind of out of sight, out of mind for the most part. I like that they cleaned up the streets. There was a time in New York, it was everywhere. You saw the prostitutes right on the corners. It was unbelievable. Yep. Remember the tunnel bunnies?
Yeah.
We were too young for that, but basically they had...
Oh, no, I remember them. I got blown by a tunnel bunny.
For real?
Absolutely. Me and my buddy Pete came in years ago, and while one of us got blown, the other one had to stand outside, and I think she stole from him or something.
I heard the tunnel bunnies were right outside the tunnels. I never saw it myself.
I loved them, yeah.
And they basically would jump in your car and blow you while you're in the tunnel.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I never did that.
Oh, man. And then they would get out on the other side. That was pretty much the deal. You got until the fucking end of this tunnel. It's a quickie. And then they jump out of your car on the other side, and then they do it again going back the other way.
Easy pass.
So what did you do?
I just got blown outside the tunnel by the Hess station on 10th Avenue. I thought
I know where that is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That was
went local for everybody.
That was a gigantic hooker area.
Really?
Oh my God! For years.
Where would you go though? Behind the Hess station?
No. You'd park on. Back then, that was 40th. I lived on 43rd. That was like 43rd, 44th Street, and 10th, between 10th and 11th.
It's one of the only gas stations in that area.
Right.
There's not many gas stations on Manhattan in general, but
anyway. That was one of the big ones.
Yeah,
and in that whole area, there's prostitution kind of infested.
Tons of cabs. The cabs would hang out and gas up over there.
Yeah, there's still like that cabbie, that fix-a-flat place for cabs that's 24 hours. So, and I get why residents didn't like that shit, because there was just rubbers all over, and you would have to park a car. You have to park your car somewhere and just get blown. Not a great area. There was a transsexual club there, and everybody knew about it, not just me. Happened to be called Edelweiss. And
what was it called?
Edelweiss. It was a German name, Edelweiss. I never went in there twice, but but that was just the area where all the hookers hung out. Uptown. There was one over on Lexington in the 20s where you'd find pretty streetwalkers. Like they were girls trying to get like the 6th Avenue guys, so they wanted more money. So I usually did not go there, but there was some fucking hot prostitutes like around Park Avenue, Lexington Avenue, like in the mid to high 20s,
yeah,
or low 30s. And I guess you'd find some downtown by the Holland Tunnel, but I never really fucked with them.
And your friend got robbed?
I think he had money still. My buddy Pete, this is so many years ago. This is before I was a comedian. And we drove in, and I remember we got blown. There was some pretty girls, and one girl, I think I rubbed her ass while she sucked my dick, and then Pete, I stood outside and waited. I remember seeing rubbers all over the ground, and my buddy Pete got blown. He couldn't do it with me in the car. Like sometimes one guy would sit in the back, and the girl would just jump in and pull over here, daddy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you'd go home, and your mom would say, "How was your evening?"
Yeah.
And what would you say?
Cool, Mom. No, I don't remember. I just remember I became obsessed with it.
What, getting prostitutes?
Oh my God, dude! When you're younger and you're looking at those dirty magazines and like you're in this world and you're like, oh, look at these fucking girls, and then you can come in and see them and touch them. It was magic land. It was magic land.
It always scared the shit out of me growing up. I just
probably a healthy fear.
figured they would beat the shit out of you.
No,
take all your money, your hard-earned newspaper money.
I know that feeling though. It's Disney World for some people.
Disney. I remember one girl. I was almost, I guess, so OCD about it. There was one girl she was wearing like this. They would wear thongs a lot of times, and a short skirt, and the big juicy asses would stick out. It would drive you so crazy. And this one girl who had this plump, perfect ass hopped in. And we were talking a little bit, and I had $30. And that was, again, this is maybe, 1991. And she said she would do it for $30. I'm like, I get to rub your ass, right? And she goes, well, no, that's extra. I'm like, all right, well, forget it. Like, it all had to be set up so perfect. And I remember she got in my car and just left the door open because she was so mad at me.
She beat it.
She showed me, yeah. I always regretted that one. I'm like, I should have just touched it. She wouldn't have said anything.
I agree with Jim completely. Another guy, federal law enforcement officer, I have a different perspective on the underage prostitution, really.
He's all for it.
Let's say hi to Dan in Seattle.
Anthony, you're on. Okay.
I can't say go Seahawks. I just can't do that, sir. I'm sorry.
It's one team you don't like?
They're playing my Patriots in the Super Bowl. What do you got, Dan?
Hey, good morning, boys.
Hi, Dan.
Good morning.
Hey, what we're seeing up in West Seattle, it's kind of unique, is the underage prostitution for boys and girls, which a lot of them are between the ages of 15 and 18.
Yeah.
They're actually doing it as a recreational occupation, where they're just doing it if they need an iPod or they need a new iPhone. You see some of these people, some of the kids go out and they'll walk the streets or get solicited just to get some of their personal needs taken care of, like monetary or merchandise-wise.
Okay, well, that's underage stuff. That's that. Even if prostitution were legal, that's where you're targeting the girls or whatever. If it was legal and you were targeting these underage people, then you're catching them, and they have to have a certain, like anything else, to be in certain jobs, right? You have to have a certain permit. If you're say you're a mechanic or whatever job you do, you have to be licensed to do that job. So if there was prostitution was legalized and regulated, part of having a license is you got to be a certain age. And maybe I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was basically it. I'm saying, like, underage prostitution, of course. Then you're targeting that, and you're only looking for underage hookers. That's good.
Yeah, that should keep a lot of law enforcement people busy for a long time.
Yeah.
Start there. My God.
And in processing, what makes it a federal offense is that we're seeing is the human trafficking that's going on. Is you see these 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls soliciting underage people, and then they actually pimp them out, or they bring them from different countries. So
right.
A lot of times when we in-process people, like young girls that look like, you come into work and it looks like, man, this girl could be my daughter, and here what she is, she gets pimped out to solicit the younger kids, and then it turns into a federal offense.
Yeah, to me, that's the trafficking aspect of it. Like all that stuff you're saying, underage, that's the stuff they should be focusing on. I think, I don't want some immigrant who's only here to pay off a debt of travel and sucking. Like, I don't want that. I just want a girl who's making a decision to do it.
And we go after the, and that's the heartbreaking thing is you're taking custody of these younger kids. And you're not after them. You're trying to bring it, tell them, look, of course they know what they're doing is illegal, but not the immigrants.
Right.
But what's happening is that we're trying to go after the people that are actually either bringing them in country or actually soliciting them. They're the guys, they're the pieces of shit you want.
Yeah.
Because, they're using them up and throwing them away.
All right.
But it's a pretty heartbreaking, thing, but it's also, but on the flip side, there are instances where you're arresting people and you're seeing that these people are doing this for, to get an iPod or to get some sort of recreational thing.
Right.
You just took all the sexiness out of this topic.
I'm sorry. Hey, Jimmy, we're still waiting for you to come back up.
Jimmy's going to reschedule, right?
I will absolutely be rescheduling.
If I have to come looking for you, you don't want that.
Yeah, you'll know where to find me in a hotel room with some lady, in quotes. All right, thanks.
All right, Dan. Thank you. Let's take one more. James on Long Island. James?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
What's going on, buddy?
I actually called to say one thing, but before that, I wanted to say, Jimmy, I'm the same age as you, and 1990-91 was a beautiful time down there in that area by that. I know that head station.
Yep.
I got blown in my fucking Trans Am with my friend. The same exact thing, man. I was just like you, man, addicted to it. It was brutal.
Yeah, that was. Even if you didn't get one, I would just spend hours riding and looking at all these sexy girls, and just that was all part of the addiction.
Were they sexy though?
Oh my God,
they weren't beat up,
dude. Girls in mini skirts with thigh highs in the middle of the street. How can that go?
And how old were you?
21, 22,
yeah,
23.
Yeah, like 20. I would drive around just like you for hours and like 3 hours, and just sometimes not even get one. Just look, try to decide. It was like a candy store. You couldn't pick out which one you wanted.
Yeah, I loved it. Loved it.
And then the peep shows. Did you go to the peep shows where you could actually touch the girls?
I did.
$1 bills.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Not only would I do that, there was one on 54th and Broadway I used to love. I would go to them, and the one girl, I used to eat this girl's ass through the, you could touch it, and I would eat her ass.
Wow, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Was it clean?
Well, after I got done with it, it was.
Do you remember towards the end of the run, like when they started changing it, like around 92, and the rushes started coming in? Some of those girls, I would lick this girl. I must have spent $100 in $1 bills on this girl, maybe $200, just opening up that little thing for 3 minutes and giving her $10 at a time just to lick her ass. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And then they started to try to combat that by making there be glass between you and the girl. Do you remember you'd sit there in these booths, you'd go in, and you'd put a $10 bill or whatever, and you'd hear like, and the partition would lift, and there'd be a girl on the other side, and you would take this fucking dirty phone
like
off.
a prison visit.
Like a prison visit, yeah, but you were actually jerking off. I never thought of the germs or the breath in this phone from other guys who had just been
Did you smell the bad breath on the
I never remember
on the
it,
phone?
no. I was too busy fucking cranking my dick to the girl in front of me.
And she
First time I went to that thing, I remember that you mentioned this movie before. Remember that movie? I think it was called Hardcore with George Siegel.
George C. Scott.
George C. Scott. We've played the famous scene a million times on the show.
Right, that was the time. So I knew when I went into when I went to that phone booth, I knew what it was. I'd seen that movie when I was a kid on Cinnamon 100, and I saw it a bunch of times. So I went in, and the first time, and I already had my dick out, and I'm jerking it. I didn't realize she could see me.
Oh.
You know, I didn't know she was going to be able to see me. I don't know why. I was stupid. And it comes right up, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're ready." I thought my dick went in like a turtle. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, you're embarrassed.
Well, at first, I mean, I got over it.
Yeah, you learn to live with it.
Right.
Yeah, but I wanted to say that I love you guys. You guys are great. But, Jimmy, anything that involves a penis, I don't care how good-looking this girl is or nice tits, it's kind of gay, bro.
Well, sir...
Kind of gay, bro.
You know, so I do appreciate the feedback, and I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do understand why one would say it.
All right, have a good day, guys.
All right, you too.
And if it's gay, who cares?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that makes it gay. If a girl has a big clitoris, I mean, guys, are we really going to split hairs here?
All right, buddy. I know you're a regular, James. Thanks for that. We'll talk to you soon. All right, buddy. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a nice little mention from Imus.
Yeah.
It was a nice one.
We still got lots to do today.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Tiger Woods with a missing tooth.
Yeah, fucking another jerk-off reporter running to get a story. Just rushing to do...
They're trying to confirm that, actually. He looks badass. I wouldn't replace the tooth anytime soon. He actually looks good with a missing front tooth.
I don't know. If I was Tiger Woods, I might, you know.
Tiger's tooth knocked out by a videographer. With a single missing tooth, Tiger Woods snagged much of the attention away from his girlfriend, Lindsey Vonn, during her big moment on Monday. I guess she set some record, huh?
Yeah, like 65 Gold Cup wins. Or was it your Gold Cup or no, something Cup? America's Cup?
I don't know.
America's Cup is sailing.
No, that's what I thought. So I just kind of...
Her victory in the Super G. And what? She sets on... That was her 63rd World Cup victory. Wow, okay. And that earned her the record.
World Cup, yeah.
Woods hid underneath dark sunglasses, a black hat, and a skeleton mask, which had all of his teeth. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was a skeleton mask. I gotcha. But Vaughn, who planned to kiss on Woods after spotting him in the crowd, knew it was him immediately. He loves that stupid mask, she told reporters. Woods' agent told the AP a video cameraman in Italy ran into the golfer and knocked out his tooth. Fuck, that had to hurt.
Yeah.
You ever get hit in the teeth?
I have, yeah.
It's not fun.
It's awful.
To the point where it falls out?
Yeah.
During a crush of photographers as the awards podium at the World Cup event in Italy, a media member with a shoulder-mounted video camera pushed and surged toward the stage, turned and hit Tiger Woods in the mouth. Ouch. Woods' tooth was knocked out by the incident. He looks good. He looks badass.
Yeah.
I'd keep that going through the Masters.
That would suck to eat, though, because you get all this fucking shit and you're crunched up in where your tooth should be.
Obviously, you'll get it fixed immediately. Yes, Charles?
I'm not sure. That might have been the one that he had to get a cap on.
Right.
After he got a cell phone thrown at him.
Oh, from the big incident back in the day?
Yeah, because it was chipped.
Yeah, because
it was chipped.
What's that?
Because isn't it hard to knock out a front tooth?
Yeah, that might have been the slightly fake one.
But a fake tooth, that would come out a lot easier, I would assume. Yeah. Did he lose a tooth in that incident with his ex-wife?
No, I think it just got chipped.
What's that?
Oh, chipped, and then they capped it. Chipped. All right. Do I have like 2 minutes to deal with this Rich Voss fucking gift that he gave me?
It's a nice gift.
It's not a nice gift.
Sam, you're on board with this. It's not a nice gift, right?
It's a terrible gift.
It's a fine gift.
I think it's a terrible gift for a child of almost any age, but especially for...
I looked it up. It's for ages 13 and above.
He was off by 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had the great Boston trip, and I came back early on the train Sunday and watched some nice football on Sunday and chilled out from my stupid dog allergies from the dog hotel. And then yesterday, I'm like, I'm just going to relax, do whatever I want. I started watching a Stanley Kubrick documentary that was amazing. I'm halfway through it. It's a long documentary. It's like almost 2.5 hours long, and I'm an hour in, and then my wife says, "Hey, Rich and Bonnie got our kid a gift," and I'm like, "Oh, really? Let me check it out." So she hands it to me, and then my OCD kicks in, and I'm like, "Well, I should probably put this together for my son," and it's the robotic arm edge. It's called. It looks cool as shit. But then I pull out the instruction manual, and it's about 60 pages.
What is it?
It's like, here it is, because I brought it in.
Oh, that sounds like a lot.
It has hundreds of pieces. It has wires. You got to do wiring. It has
What?
It has a motherboard that you got to hook up, and you got to make sure you hook it up to the right, the right area. I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer.
That's a nerd present.
And so I started doing this. I turned off the Stanley Kubrick documentary.
Because you had to concentrate on this.
And I'm not lying to you when I say I spent 5 hours trying to put this robotic arm edge together.
Why would he buy that for?
The wired control robotic arm kit. Why? Because he's a stupid human being.
What a terrible gift.
It's a terrible gift, and I'll tell you why. 4-year-olds will play with this for a couple minutes and then break it. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they don't know how to take care of their things.
No, the whole point is you can smash things. That's why Legos are so popular, because you can break them.
It has a separate control pad that you have to put together from scratch.
Why? Why not just buy an arm that's already put together?
And then it's for a 13-year-old child to build, not a 51-year-old man.
With a 4-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
It has plastic molds that you cut out, and then you have to shave down the plastic, the parts that are still remaining. You got to use tweezers and snips and screwdrivers and all sorts of shit. I need a magnifying glass because some of the pieces are so fucking small. What?
I said to pee.
Because of his wiener?
Yeah, it's just teeny and tiny. That's why he has the tweezers already ready. Hold his little prick.
His little dick out with tweezers.
Little dingo.
And a magnifying glass. That'd be so small.
Yeah, his little wee-wee.
So, there's a hole in the box because I punched it and fucked up my pinky on my left hand. I went southpaw and punched the shit out of the box.
Why didn't you just open it and say, this couldn't be a less appropriate gift?
I started yelling right away, but then you'd sound ungrateful.
There's a lot of instructions there.
There's page after page after page.
What's a project? It's about building it.
And there's different screws, right? And they all look like the same exact screw, but if you use the wrong screw in the wrong part, then you're going to need the other screw and you're not going to have it, if that makes sense to anybody.
How long into it did you realize you were not equipped to do this?
Well, then I just started going nuts. I told my wife at one point, I said, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown, because then I felt like I had to try to figure this out.
How long did you work on it?
5 hours. Instead of watching the Stanley Kubrick thing and enjoying my day off yesterday.
And what does the finished product look like?
Let me see. You did a good job, though.
Well, the finished product...
Does it actually lift things up?
Oh, jeez. That's the finished...
There's a lot of screws.
That's the finished
I would say that's
product.
That doesn't look like a particularly workable item.
It reminds me of Chip.
What's that?
There's a screw loose.
Fuck yeah! I'm as nutty as a fruitcake.
Rich, Rich does his show today, right?
Yeah.
All right, I swear to God, if the Ron and Fez people fucking touch this, there's going to be problems. Leave it here all day for Rich and Bonnie to see later tonight.
Well, they might not want to do their show with that, but then again...
This pretty much drove me insane yesterday.
What if we clean it up and have Adrian spill it before Voss's show?
No, just leave it there.
No,
That's
leave
how
it
the
there.
boss spilled it.
Leave it there all day. Just like that, with the box and everything.
That's right, and that screw moving.
Leave it. Leave it there.
I'm touching a little screw.
I'll tell you what ended up just where I finally hit my limit. There's 20 little pins, like little like
this is tiny.
Huh?
The screw is tiny.
Yeah. Try putting that in your hands and trying to put it in.
Exactly. No, standing over a toilet.
I was fucking
the little tweezer dick.
Yeah, little teeny weeny magnifying glass pecker.
And the screwdriver kept slipping. I'm banging my knuckles. I'm like, a kid's toy. Get him a fucking truck.
It's a robotic arm kit.
That he will never use more than 2 fucking minutes. So they have these tiny little metal pegs. They're like as small as pins. And there's 20 of them.
Metal pegs?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, you have... I should have known. Because you have to, like, build the gears for the little motors.
Well, it's a whole project for a 13-year-old who might be mechanically inclined.
Oh, sure.
Or a 4-year-old. his father.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No?
Neither one of them are mechanically inclined.
What is your?
There was like 5 or 6 motors you had to put together, and you had to put the gears on. You needed these little tiny metal pegs. There's 20 of them, and I'm way far into the project at this point. It's kind of coming together kind of nicely, and then I realize in the instructions that 1 out of the 20 fucking tiny little metal pegs is longer than the rest of them. They probably should have highlighted that earlier in the instructions. And I needed 2 pegs. I was down to the last 2 pegs. They were the same fucking size. I needed the one that was longer at this point.
You had already used it on something else.
Somewhere in the fucking robotic arm.
But you weren't supposed to use the long one. You were supposed to use the other regular size
Yeah,
one.
stupid me, yeah.
How much longer is
But
the
that
long
wasn't
one?
highlighted in the instructions. They probably should highlight that this could be a problem later on.
How much longer was the long one?
Literally just a smidge, but it makes all the fucking difference in the project.
So what did you have to do? Go back and unscrew each one?
I started unscrewing to try to find the long peg where I put that thing.
Did you find it?
I found it. I took it out, and then I'm like, okay, this should be easy. And then I start screwing the thing back together properly.
Yeah.
But now all the screws stripped the plastic, so nothing is tight anymore. So then I start using crazy glue. That's not working. And then I'm fucking panicking and freaking out. And then at that point, my son took the snips and decided he needed to help me, and he snipped one of the wires.
Oh.
And that's when I said, I got to give up on this fucking thing.
What did your son think of you when he did not have a robotic arm at the end of the afternoon?
Dad, why no good at this?
He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck.
That your assembly was shoddy?
Well, the other thing, he lost one of the pieces somewhere in the house that was crucial to the robotic arm.
You don't let a 5-year-old take little pieces.
I allowed him to take the scissors and, kind of cut it out of the mold, because they were all attached. And I go, yo, what happened to this? I forgot what piece. It's one of these. Not that it matters. And
What
I
is
go,
that?
it's
Looks like
one
a
of the
piece of the
gears.
gear.
Okay.
And I go, hey, we need this piece. Do you know where it went? He goes, no, I don't know. I know it went flying when I cut it. I'm like, flying where?
Why wouldn't you have opened it, looked at it, and called Voss immediately and said this gift couldn't be less age appropriate, and not even bothered with it?
Because as a parent, you look like a fucking asshole. These people that are trying to do the right thing and take care of your kid and give him a nice gift, they give you shit that you have no desire to put together.
This isn't a nice
arm.
Look at the wiring. You had to fucking.
Why is it snipped?
You had to string the. That's not snipped. It's unattached because I fucking threw it. But I had to build my own battery box for this thing.
Well, that's cool.
With the connectors and everything.
Was it fun?
It was almost fun at times.
That's half the project.
Almost.
It's building.
Almost.
Right.
And then there's motherboards, and you got to hook those up properly and make sure you got the right wires attached to the motherboard properly, or that's not going to work.
Wasn't it a great bonding experience, though, with your mechanically inclined teenage son?
He was bored, and then he's sleeping on the couch all afternoon because my wife took my daughter up to see you and the new puppy. And it was supposed to be a nice day for me and him doing this project together, but I realized the only thing he could do is snip out the pieces while I try to put the whole fucking thing together. And then his stupid dad, meaning me,
right,
the OCD kicked in, and then I obsessively continued doing this even though I knew I was out of my fucking mind. And I look over at him, and he's snoozing away.
But it doesn't look done, though. It doesn't look completed.
Can it pick something up like that?
It was more done until I had to find that long fucking metal peg thing.
I'll put this thing together in an hour.
Yeah.
I'm good at this. You bring me one of these, I'll put it together without looking at the instructions.
So leave it there for Rich Voss and Bonnie. I want to make sure they see my appreciation for their gift.
Do you think that your son, watching you put this together, was more fun for him than hanging out with a puppy?
No.
Why didn't you bring him up to see the puppy?
Because it was supposed to be we were going to do this together.
But he would have had much more fun petting a dog.
Plus,
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny dog.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm still sneezing from the dog hotel, so I wasn't sure if it was a cold or an allergy, so I didn't want to get the Roberts sick and their new dog sick.
Yeah, but your wife could have taken the boy.
She probably should have, because I was about to go old school and really just fucking lose my mind and throw and punch and kick things.
What was more fun, doing an electronic project with Dad or going to pet a dog?
The other kid came and saw the dog.
And had fun.
She had a great time.
Of course.
So.
Gave her some milk. She pet the dog.
Yeah.
It's great.
See the hole in the box? That's where I punched through, and then I fucked up my hand because it hit the electronics.
How does your 4-year-old son react when his dad is punching his toys?
He thought it was hilarious.
He liked that.
Yeah, I gotta kind of explain to him that's not the right way to handle things.
Yes. No, that's aggressive.
Look how tiny the screws are.
Yeah,
and they're all almost the same size, but they're a little different, which is so important in this thing.
The thing is, 13-year-olds have they have smaller fingers but better eyes.
Yes, good little teeny hands, good for cleaning the munitions.
Right.
But like a 13-year-old would probably be able to pull that off fine.
Yeah, and I was almost getting it back together with the crazy glue and stuff. And then when he snipped one of the wires because he thought he was helping, I'm like, I'm done.
Did you want to tell him that it's not helpful?
No, I did tell him it wasn't helpful.
the end of every bad 80s movie, wire snipping.
Right. And then I'm begging him, where did that one piece go rolling to? He had no clue.
You just became the stereotypical dad, though, that got so obsessed with the project that you're supposed to be building with your kid.
Right.
That you just ignore the kid. The kid's not even having fun anymore, and now you're yelling at him for screwing up your project.
Yeah, he wasn't yelling. Go pet a dog.
I wasn't yelling. I was like, where the fuck is the missing piece?
Like, in the dog's 5.5 weeks old. It's the perfect size for like a little
big is
4-year-old. It's tiny.
I'd like to pet it.
You should come over and pet the
Should
dog.
I bring a girl with me? Because a girl will think that's impressive.
That you know somebody with a puppy?
Hey, you want to go pet a puppy? Yes, I do.
Feel free.
And then all the way home.
I'll tell Jess. Wait till you find out what he's going to do on the way home.
Yeah, and I want to get on the way up here.
Yeah. That was nice of Jim to come all the way out here. Oh, he's getting blown the whole way.
Exactly. He's getting his asshole popped with a finger on the way back.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible way to spend your day off.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get... I thought he had kids. He has kids, right?
Who, Voss?
Yeah. Kids will play with this for minutes.
He has kids of all ages.
And look, I'm fucking stupid at this, especially this shit. So...
He's pointing at the radio mic.
I'm not I don't know this electronic shit. I bet you if someone that really knew what they were doing, it would take them at least 2 to 3 hours, at least. And I went well past that before I finally gave up.
There are people who immediately seeing that would be like, oh, that'd be fun to build a robot from scratch.
Because building it is the big thing.
But there are also other people that would say that would not be fun at all.
But I had this type of fun growing up. How is this fun for him? Because there's nothing he can do. He's not old enough to actually, follow instructions and go, all right, take this, the gray gear and put it on top of the brown gear, and then you have to put a gray gear back on top of that. See that peg put in that hole? He can't follow instructions like that yet.
I see that it's got a 60-page instruction book. What are the instructions like for his toys generally?
One giant diagram.
Take ball from package. Bounce happily.
Exactly. And I would have been a lot happier, and I would have gotten through the Stanley Kubrick documentary if he got him a fucking football. And these guys are right. It's always people without kids that give you the shit gifts because they don't know.
But Voss has kids.
I don't know if he has kids. I don't believe it anymore.
Doesn't he have like older daughters and then also a young daughter?
A young daughter, yeah.
I mean, he's seen every age of a kid, I think, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he must have known that this is not a great gift.
People are very generous, but this is what you hear in my house a lot. I'll open up a box.
Yeah.
And I'll look at it and I'll go, Jesus Christ! Because you know it's going to be all fucking day trying to put it together.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, just don't do it. Just throw it out. Say this is a bad gift.
I do Legos with the kid, and that will take 2 hours, and then he breaks it immediately. But I'm like, that was kind of fun because it's sort of like a puzzle. And I enjoy that a little bit.
Yeah.
But this, really?
Yeah, this is a dumb gift.
From a dumb guy.
Leave it there. I'm serious. Put the word out.
When did you realize this is not going to be a fun thing?
Immediately.
But you just had to do it.
But then I felt like, I'm gonna sound ungrateful if I say, look, I'm not putting this together.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk about the Chinese treehouse thing yet, right?
What Chinese treehouse?
I don't know if she sent it back to China yet, but I got to find out. Because of my love for treehouses, my wife got, those boats in a bottle?
Yeah.
That you could do? I guess in China, you could put tree houses in like this little glass globy thing that has a small entrance.
How do you get in?
With tweezers and stuff.
Oh.
And you build your own tree house and you make your own trees and stuff. She got this thing thinking it was a nice gift, which it was. The instructions were in Chinese. Yeah, and you want to talk about tiny tiny little parts. You would have to have a magnifying glass to put this together. I guess this is a thing in China that people are really, really into doing. Building these delicate fucking model projects.
You can't even sit in the treehouse when you're done.
No. No, you
way
can't.
too small.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. I want a real treehouse.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with that?
I appreciate that.
Why would you want a treehouse in a bottle? You can't get in the bottle.
True.
Why do people keep giving you stuff to build? I would never give you anything to build.
Why would they give you anything?
Because they want me to go fucking crazy.
Like, just...
They want me to have a fucking... I looked at my wife and go, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown. She goes, how about you give it a break? I'm like, I can't give it a break. I got to go to the point where I know I can't do anything else. And that's what I did yesterday.
You know what I would get you if I was going to get you a gift? Sweatpants.
Thank you.
Another pair of sweatpants.
That drives me nuts if they're a little too long, though. I'm like, you don't even know my fucking size?
Whatever.
What would you get me for a gift?
I'd probably try to find some, like, Ozzy t-shirt or something.
Fuck yeah! How about you get me a gift?
For what?
Just as a little payoff because you have a job.
Hey, thanks for the gig, Jimmy.
A lot of wires.
I mean, you had to put these gears together and then make sure the wires are out properly and that the orange and black one goes to the right spot, and don't put the
out for you.
Don't put the blue and black one where the orange and black one goes. Here's a motherboard.
You had to punch out the pieces. They didn't even punch them out.
No. My kid was fucking cutting them out of that day.
How long was your kid interested? Because this is a gift for the kid. So how long was the kid interested?
I think I got him interested for 15 minutes, which is pretty good for a 4-year-old to keep his attention going for 15 straight minutes.
15 minutes out of how long was the total project?
When did they arrive at your house?
It's probably like 1:30.
All right, so I started 1 and I gave up at 7. I've been telling people 5. It was 6 hours yesterday.
So he was occupied for 15 minutes out of 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
This was an unsuccessful gift.
Yeah.
It was a monumental flop.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a bust.
Yeah. So I'll leave it there for Voss and Bonnie. I want to make sure they see my appreciation.
You don't think it's a good gift?
No, I'd be really dissatisfied if this gift should have remained wrapped up in plastic.
Right.
You should never have opened it.
I don't know if it does it justice on the radio, but I did make a quick minute video of the thing. A very, very quick video. Truly hates you. Wait, go back. I show all the parts. Only someone that truly hates you would give your 4-year-old a gift that's going to take 3 hours to put together.
Literally every piece that you just showed is hazardous to a 4-year-old. All of the pieces.
Oh, it's all sharp metal,
all sharp or
crap,
small.
Wires that he's snipping. When he was snipping the wire, by the way, when the batteries were already attached.
Oh, right there, you got to put together. It looks good.
That's the box, Jimmy.
Oh, the box.
That's what it's supposed to look like. Mine looks a little different.
What do you think? You think those pieces would be good for a 4-year-old to play with?
No. Not at all. Not at all. No.
Thanks, Rich Voss. How about Legos next time? And look at how tiny that piece is.
What is it?
I hate you, Rich Voss. I despise you. Get in there. Ugh. Of course it didn't go in.
I don't even hear your kid anywhere.
No.
Oh, he was on to something else by then, or he was sleeping at that point. You had to take these tiny little washers.
Hold on. What is that flannel patterned thing?
That's my fucking pajamas. I told you I was lounging around all day yesterday.
You had your PJ pants on.
I sure did. You see the tweezers and how tiny that screw was that you have to put it in the plastic just right. By the way, they show you the wrong way and the right way, and I did it the wrong way probably 10 times before I got it right. You want to focus on the pajama pants.
Can't get past them.
You don't have pajama pants?
Not since I was 5. No.
Nice little flannels, nice and soft.
No, I hate pajamas. I loathe pajamas.
I wear
wear
sweats too.
That's all I wear.
Those are my Christmas PJs.
Yeah, no, I
get a pair every year.
I don't wear PJs.
You wearing your Christmas PJs and building toys?
Yes.
Like a grown up.
That's cool.
I figured this is perfect. Me and my son, Christmas PJs, a little project.
Your son's like literally like he's nowhere to be found.
He was bored with me at this point. People get bored of me. Do you get it? He fucking had it after 15 minutes. He was playing with Peppa Pig or something. And then I'm stuck.
And then he takes the day off today.
And then I was stuck with my OCD.
Just in this thing.
Stop giving me shit that I got to build like this.
Let's see the rest of the video.
Okay.
This is quick.
Do you wear the pants for the whole video?
Well,
I hope so. I want to see the top.
5 hours in, this is what I accomplished. Rich sucks dick for 5 cents. That's when I hurt my hand.
It looks just like the picture on the box.
No, it doesn't.
What was your kid doing when you were growling at the table?
He was laughing at me. He gets it.
By the way, this video says that it was like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could have come.
At 3 p.m. is wrong. Because I honestly lost track of time. It was more like 1:30 or 2 I started. So
I mean, you could have pet
that was
the
6
puppy,
hours.
had something to eat. You know, your daughter we gave her a cookie.
Huh?
You don't think he would have liked to have a cookie, some milk, and pet a dog, but more than watch you yell at this robot?
He made the wrong decision yesterday.
He did?
Yeah, and he kind of told me that, too. He's that smart at 4.5, where he goes, wow, man, I really probably should have went with mommy, huh? I went, yeah. Daddy's having a nervous breakdown right now.
Because you want to pet the dog.
Because he has to complete projects that he has no desire to do.
It's a robotic arm. It's such a small dog.
But it's for a 13-year-old, because I looked it up. It's 13 and above. So how does a 4-year-old enjoy the process?
He couldn't, possibly. I don't even think, honestly, if you had completed the process successfully, he still would have thought it was stupid. He goes, okay, it just picks things out?
He would have played with it for a few minutes, and then he would have, kind of tossed it to... Nah, yeah, by accident. All right, enough.
I gotta piss.
Yeah, we gotta pee and shit. That video is up on my YouTube channel. I think I'll tweet it in a second if you give a fuck. Eliza's here.
It's here? Okay.
She'll be on the show next. We're very excited about that. Eliza Schlesinger. I don't know why I fuck up her name.
It's hard to say.
It is, right?
Yeah.
She needs a Hollywood name. She's becoming big, a big star. She's blowing up in front of our eyes. All right. What else we got going on? Anything to promote, Jim? Sorry about the screws on your plugs. Look how tiny they are.
I have Arizona, January 30, 31st, Tempe Improv. Foxwoods, February 13th, the Fox Theater. Of course, Oz Fiesta with Florentine and Ozzy Osbourne in Cancun, May 27th through 31st. And Warren, Michigan, September 26th, the Celebrity Theater.
That's the Trot.
Oh, and this is now St. Petersburg, Florida. This the Mahaffrey Theater. This is the it's me, Artie Lang, and Bob Kelly. We're doing it's for Cowhead from Mike Halta, and it's and an after performance by his band Pitbull Toddler. Oh, okay, and an after performance. So it's the show and then his band.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, cool.
Well, that's gonna be a great gig.
Tickets are on sale Friday, January 23rd at noon.
Oh, okay.
And there's a code word Calta. Oh, I should have sent it to my mailing list.
Ah,
fuck me.
How long does it take? Just do it right now.
Okay, I'll do it.
Can't you do it from your phone?
I don't trust myself.
No.
I really want an update from the mailing list.
Do you like when there's mistakes in it?
Yes, I do. I like when you bungle it.
Yeah, I do. Stupid.
Because it's 2015 and you still have a mailing list and you can't even get that right.
It's literally like I'm calling and complaining because my AOL won't sign on.
All right, we're gonna take a break now, and we're gonna continue. You do what you got to do. What is the most romantic thing a man can do for the woman in his life? It's writing a real love letter. Not a text, a real love letter. And did you know that writing an X and an O on the bottom of a love letter dates back to the Middle Ages? Today, it has come to mean hugs and kisses or simply, I love you. Now Steven Singer has the perfect version of a love letter. Check out his solid 14-karat gold love letters diamond necklace that says, I love you every day. It doesn't say I love you every day. I think it just says I love you on the necklace. He threw in the everyday part, I guess. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com right now to check them out for yourself. I've seen these. They're very, very nice, Sam Roberts. The I Love You necklace is it's gonna be a hit this Valentine's Day. They're also they're available now in your choice of 14-karat white gold, yellow gold, or rose gold, all set with beautiful diamonds. The beautiful XO necklaces come in a lovely gift box, all wrapped up with a love letter from you. That's right, a love letter necklace and a real love letter from you. All at IHateStevenSinger.com. And don't forget, Steven offers you free shipping. Does the necklace say I love you, Sam, or does it just have an X and an O on it? I'm confused now.
The necklace, metaphorically, says I love you every day. Every time she sees herself wearing the necklace, she'll be reminded, oh, my man loved me.
But what the fuck does the necklace say? I love you, or just an X and an O? And then you have to assume that that's the same X and O that you see in love letters. I'm so confused.
Which I don't think it literally says I love you every day. I think
no, I know.
Just like,
I know.
You do.
But I've seen the I Love You necklaces or something similar to that. Is it on his website?
There's all kinds of great
crap
shit on his website.
You were about to say crap.
I said great shit.
But we spin things. Crap means love when you're talking about Steven Singer. You get that, right? Oh, it is an XO.
Yeah, it's an X and an O. It says I love you.
All right, I haven't seen those necklaces yet.
I love you. The same way a ring says I love you.
I have not seen the XO necklace, so I was lying because I've seen the I love you type necklaces.
God damn, it's beautiful.
All right, it really does look nice. I'm on IHateStevenSinger.com right now. The XO necklace. That is pretty cool. That's very different. Very unique.
Yeah.
All right, go to IHateStevenSinger.com. We got that straightened out. He also offers free shipping. These magnificent love letter necklaces are only $298. It's an X and an O. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com now and give her love letters that she will cherish forever. Eliza's cold. Turn up the heat.
It's cold, right?
I feel pretty good. But Eliza's, it must have came from somewhere warm, right?
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, I said before it was cold.
Yeah, Jimmy said it's kind of cold in general around here today. But
yeah.
Always. Did you come from L.A.?
I came from Baltimore. I mean, I live in LA, thank you.
Right.
I came from Baltimore, which is equally as cold.
Yeah, sure.
But a little bit, slightly more miserable.
We were up in Boston, and it was freezing on Friday.
Just despicable.
And it was just like everything was gray when I got in 2 days ago. Across the whole eastern seaboard, everything was gray, frozen.
Right.
Sad. I wish you could train.
You ever wonder why you do that? Like, I wonder, why do I take these fucking gigs knowing what side of the country? Like, why don't I just book San Diego and nice places
Nobody
in the
books
winter?
me to nice places in the winter. It's never San Diego in the summer. It's always like come in the off season. I'm going to Buffalo in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I just never want to see my luggage or a return flight, I guess.
They should pay you guys more money when you go to the cold,
casualties,
cities.
Oh yeah,
in the winter.
And then they always blame it. They're like, "Oh, sorry, it was a slow night. Well, it's cold." And I'm like, "You live in Buffalo. We
They're
didn't
used to
expect it would
cold.
be."
Right? Yeah.
This is the only time you should come out. So
What do you do when you're on the road? I find myself very bored.
I always feel like guy comics. It's always like I find some strippers and I bang a waitress. Now, I made an effort to like look up like restaurants that Guy Fieri has gone to if I can, because it's always like those kind of towns.
Yeah.
I catch up on sleep.
Okay.
And watch like American Greed until like 4 a.m.
Oh, I think you were serious about the restaurants. Are you serious?
I do that.
Oh, you
if
do?
I'm with someone that has a car, or I'll make like the feature take me, because that's the only, they don't have them in LA. Everything's terrible.
He makes those joints seem cool as hell. I just don't want to eat like that is the problem.
You don't want to eat like that. I was in Baltimore. I couldn't find a vegetable. But I went to a place where he went, and you feel like you're making a good culinary choice, like you're making that meal worth it,
right?
Versus just like grabbing a 7-Eleven.
Baltimore's the same way. Philly, they just you can't find vegetables anywhere. I think you're considered a pussy if you eat vegetables down there.
I found myself craving them. Like must find chlorophyll somehow, just anything green.
Right. I hang out with old school people down there, and I say stupid shit like I just want a vegetable drink. They look at me like.
Or just want a juice. Can I get a cold pressed juice?
Anything, anything that feels like it might be healthy.
I had an Uber. This is not going to sound shocking with this precursor. I had an Uber driver in Nashville who had never heard of a juice bar. And I was like, because I was sick. I was like, I want to go just get a juice. She was like, what do you mean, like a bar that has juice? I was like, no. She was from Florida. Go figure. Sorry, I don't want to hear your angry tweets. And I was just like, no. Have you ever heard of like a Jamba Juice? She hadn't even heard of that. So like even at a base level, I couldn't explain to her what it was. So I just
how do you not know what a juice bar is?
Yeah, an Orange Julius. Who doesn't know a good Orange Julius?
Let's start
maybe
there.
I should have started with that and been like minus the Julius.
Minus the stuff they put in it that makes it 1,000,000 calories.
But it helps if you're sick, which I feel like you said you were getting sick. Or you said you had like a thing.
I'm not. No, we were in a dog hotel in Boston. So now I think it was just a dog allergy because I'm coming back fast.
A dog hotel?
Yeah.
You stayed at the dog hotel?
They cater to dogs. Jimmy was up filming a special and it went great. The 7th floor is supposed to be all the dogs. You're allowed to stay on the 7th floor with the dogs, but they have a lounge, a beautiful, like, it looks like it could be like a martini lounge with the couches and the fireplace. And you're like, wow, that'd be a perfect place to have a beer or a martini or a cup of coffee and just chill, which I did. And then you find out later on when you come back into the hotel and that same area is filled with dogs all over the couches and stuff.
More than like 2 dogs, and it's gross. You say dog hotel, it sounds like a kennel. You say dog hotel makes it sound like you stayed for cheap at a place where dogs stay.
Oh, this was just a
dog-friendly hotel.
The word is out that if you have a dog and you're traveling, you come and stay with us. They had a doggy bowl outside the hotel with a ton of dog bones. I've never seen this before.
Really?
Nope.
Because I have a dog that I travel with. Some hotels go out of their way to be extra dog friendly. But really, they bring it's just all to make extra money because they bring you all this stuff. My dog will crap on the floor and eat cat poop. She doesn't need a special bed and a special bowl.
They have special beds?
They'll bring you a bed as if my dog doesn't care. Like my dog will sleep on a pile of my dirty clothes.
Right.
Like she does as a dog. But they make a whole thing because rich people like to feel like the dog is a person.
Mm-hmm. I don't like dogs in my fucking bed or any of that stuff. I kind of want to get one someday.
It's the best.
Yeah, but they get hair all over.
Not one that doesn't shed.
I like my cats, which I was deathly allergic to, when they would sleep around my legs and stuff.
Warm it up.
Keep me all nice and warm. They would snuggle right in.
Cats? Oh, just like around your feet.
They would love my ball bag, to be honest with you.
They're what?
My ball bag.
Yeah, cats notoriously love onions.
They would scoot up right up against the ball bag while I was sleeping.
Ball bag? Am I missing
my scrotum?
Oh, your nutsack.
Yeah.
I thought
they would get right in that crevice.
I didn't think you meant that. I thought it was like a sports reference or a golf thing, and then I was going to make a dick joke, and then it'd be like, get your mind out of the gutter. Nope, you meant your nuts.
I feel like we could talk about real things
Who
here.
says ball bag?
That was bad?
Is that a generational thing? Is that a regional thing?
Am I dating myself?
No, I don't
Joey
know.
still says ball bag.
Ball bag, I think, is a guy thing. I think that's more of a gender thing.
I would say junk. We say junk.
Oh, yeah, sure. I say for my junk, sure.
All right.
No, my ball bag.
But just push right up against it and go to sleep. Yeah. Cuddle up right next to
I suppose that's
my
a nice warm. Someone's
scrotum.
gotta be
My
warmer.
testicles, my warm testicles.
Testicles. I think we all prefer testicles during intercourse as well, please.
Hey, can I ask you guys about Uber? Because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Me and Jonathan took an Uber from the hotel to the train station. It's like the most amazing app ever.
It's the most amazing app.
But I don't. Like, could someone explain where they're getting these drivers from? Because it's freaking me the fuck out.
Yeah.
At least in L.A. Strictly Armenian.
But are they, like, doing background checks? But someone then says to me, well, they don't do that with cabs either. But at least...
Yeah, you have to have a livery license, I think, to do these things.
Okay.
To do these as well? Or because the guy in Pittsburgh told us that you don't.
I think if at a certain level for Uber, I think if you're driving, like, a town car, I think... then you have to have some sort of license, but I don't think they do those kind of checks. What I find funny about Uber, and this is going to sound terrible, but like in LA, like none of them are, like Uber X, you know, it's just like out of work actors and other people like that. But like the nicer ones, they're all Armenian, and the names, like it's one thing to be respectful of someone's culture and like that, but sometimes I feel like they're messing with you because the name will just be like a guttural noise, like and you're just like, that's not even cultural. That's just a bunch of vowels, or it'll have like a number in it, like Blargon 7. You're like, you sound like a Martian. And these are just like ridiculous words, and you're sitting there like trying to pronounce it. They're all Armenian or Russian, and they want to talk about their country.
We jumped in someone's just smelly old car.
Yeah, some
2
of them
days
just drive
ago.
their cars. It's weird.
I'm like, this is crazy. And,
but
if it wasn't a quick ride, I probably would have said, you know what, let's just take a cab.
That's
but it was
the
5
basis
minutes
for the model,
away.
is that anyone can do it. You just flip on the app, and then you can charge for rides, like once you're registered with Uber.
But what do they ask for when you register with Uber?
I have no idea. Somebody should tell us this. I don't know. I think anyone can do it, though. That's the whole basis for
That's
it.
kind of creepy, though. You don't know what kind of driving experience they've had.
You don't know. You get a text beforehand. Your driver is en route.
Yeah.
And the maps are always fucking off by a couple of blocks. But it really is. Like,
Yeah,
me and
they
Kenny
are.
were, again, down south. It was just a guy in a minivan that showed up.
Sure.
But again, are they any worse than cab drivers? I mean...
They're better than cab drivers.
Well,
and there's accountability because you can see it on the app.
You see the name of the guy and
The name of the guy, a fun picture.
Right.
Sometimes and I think they take pride in their cars. Like sometimes they really try to.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're not tipping them, so they're really going this extra mile for no reason. Like I always give 5 out of 5 stars. They have water, they have candy.
Oh, isn't the tip included?
But it's included, which is so you don't have to mess with anything.
What's the percentage?
It's like 85%.
No, they keep all of it. Like what happens is they pay a certain fee,
right?
I think to Uber for everything, and
Uber
then
takes a percentage.
The percentage, and then the rest of the money is theirs.
We jumped out at South Station. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, it's all set. I'm like,
it's great.
But what? We didn't even give it credit. I know it's all through the app. I'm not, but it's so weird to me.
I think they get
Sammy.
I think they get in a lot of trouble if they get bad ratings. Like I think
They can get fired
easily.
which is why I never give less than 5 stars, because even if the guy is an idiot, it's not worth it to me for you to get fired just because you weren't the best driver. Like I don't care what happens to you after I get out of the car.
But he
Here's
could be
5
the
stars.
serial killer.
He could be.
You could have been the one that said, "Oh fuck, 1 star. We get rid of the serial killer."
So
But then he'd probably kill me if I gave him the 1 star. I will tell you this: I took an Uber recently, and the guy, however he knew who I was, started asking me about comedy. Pulls the Uber over after we had gotten to the bar, and I was with someone. Proceeds to then have a conversation with me, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, "Is this meter still on? Like, am I being charged with? This is so weird." I get out. We live a 10-minute conversation, and I'm just like, "Okay." Get out. The next day, he emails me.
Wow.
About like industry, whatever it was, but it's just like,
did he want to get in the business?
He had been in it, and then
Wait, how does he get your email?
I don't know. That's my thing. Like you're registered, you get your receipts, but I don't think they
You're
have.
famous. He looked it up.
But yes, but no. Like, how would you?
Maybe your email's easy to figure out.
Is it?
Yeah, you can find your. Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe you got an easy one.
I thought. Well, it is an easy one.
Eliza
but still,
Gmail.
It's still disconcerting that, like, he was like, I just wanted a quick ride. This wasn't a formal interview. And the next day he was like, hey,
Right.
I don't even know what he was asking or saying, but.
Did you get back to him?
Sure. I need representation. No, I didn't. I didn't write back because
That's
I want
creepy.
him to think he had the wrong email. Hopefully he's not listening.
And there was a big thing happening in Boston with Uber. The cabbies up there are pissed off because they feel like Uber has an unfair advantage.
Welcome to capitalism.
Thank you. My point is, like,
Thank you.
You had the whole market to yourselves, and you didn't try to do anything to upgrade
You didn't
anything.
rally and have a coup. You didn't form any sort of.
You could jump in a cab and it could still feel like it's 1979. They haven't done anything truly that different except for those dumb little TVs in New York with
Yeah.
the same 5 minutes of programming over and over
Boy,
again.
did I get over those quick. It's amazing. Like every Saturday morning, doom, doom, that little music comes on. It's about the hearing impaired. I can't shut that shit off. It's actually a victory for me if I can get it off without hearing a sound.
Do you think they make it really hard to turn off?
Yes.
Yes, on purpose.
Tapping the screen.
Thank
your
you.
fingers
I thought I was
bloody.
the only one.
Yeah, you're
I
like,
think
don't
they
need to see this
purposely
round of
want to make
Jeopardy.
it hard to
Yeah.
turn it off.
And if you double push it, sometimes you'll see it go off and then it comes back on.
Yeah.
It interprets
Yes.
it.
Have you seen Black Mirror? The show on Netflix?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
What is it
That's
about?
It's basically like a modern day Twilight Zone, but
Oh, wow, really?
the person lives in like a modern day. It's each one's its own thing. It's like an anthology. Anyways, you have to pay money to not hear advertisements.
Uber information. Oh,
thank you.
I got an Uber driver. Does anyone care? Should we continue
Yeah,
with this for a second?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Kirk in Houston. He's an Uber driver. Kirk.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Background checks. That's all I want to know about because the whole service in general is amazing.
Yeah, no kidding. Every city's a little different. I think Houston was one of the first ones who put in some kind of, system where we had to register and background checks. So they do background checks for us here. I think they do them in New York, but some cities they just kind of let these guys fly on the trust that the company's checking to make sure they're not criminals or have bad driving records or things like that. But for the most part, most cities are just letting these guys run scot-free.
I got a question. If you're a registered sex offender, you have to register, but then you have to if you're a roaming registered sex offender, is it like when you move into a block and people
Right.
can check to see if you live on that block? Because
Yes,
you're
I
driving
know,
everywhere.
and we got to go door to door. Yes, it's humiliating.
Can you take your skills with you?
The red dots
Yeah,
in your
it's-
neighborhood.
You probably don't know.
As a non-registered sex offender, I really can't say exactly what they.
It's an interesting stance.
Right.
I've never been convicted, so I can't tell you. But I don't know how that works.
You've never been convicted.
Correct.
Bunch of people saying they just do background checks. It's a great service for these other cities that don't have cabs like New York and Boston and whatnot, where it's a pain in the ass.
Sure, LA's like that. Like
really?
I have a bar a couple blocks from my house. It's walking distance, but at night you don't want to make that walk alone. If you're meeting friends, you call an Uber, and they never give you an attitude for only going a block. And it costs you like $3, whatever, but that's so convenient versus, risking getting raped.
Well, they're competitive now with taxis, pricing-wise, and people are getting very fucked. That's where the cabbies are getting mad. But it was just, and now Yellow Cab has their own app.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're late.
It's too late. You should have saw this coming.
Uber has a taxi app in New York, Uber T.
Really?
I found that each city, when you log on to Uber, has its own sort of groups of Ubers. So there's sometimes there's Uber helicopter, I think you could get in the Hamptons. Someone told me that yesterday. I don't know. But Uber T in New York, if you log on right now, is a taxi.
You're getting famous. You're looking up helicopters now?
Oh, I made a joke about helicopters. Someone's like, I know, they have it in the Hamptons. And I was like, unrelatable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not something most of us would fucking know. If you have an automatic helicopter app on your fucking... Boy, I just fall apart on that statement. Automatic helicopter app. I couldn't say it. I was like,
who are you fucking...
I think you saved it, though.
No, I didn't.
You were quick.
No, I just dropped... I realized I had a fucking a dud, and I just dropped it and went, there you go.
Yeah, how far out can you cancel the helicopter before they charge you?
Yeah.
But Uber should advertise on the show, Sam, or at least give us some envelopes for the big advertising we just did for them.
I mean, you have already said they might be serial killers. You did, it wasn't an advertisement.
It said might, and then the guy refuted it.
It's just weird that this car pulls up. I don't know, you feel safer when it's a cab, but all of a sudden it's just someone's fucking
I feel like
SUV that they don't really take care of, and it smelled a little off.
Right. Maybe you feel safer when it's a cab because, there's zero fucks given from a cab driver. Like, he's on the phone with his family in Bangladesh. They're not even talking to you.
No.
Uber drivers kind of want to talk to you. A lot of times they're white men, which typically commit more serial killing acts.
There's also a creepy tie-in because they have your information.
Yeah.
Whereas a cabbie is anonymous. They don't have any information on you.
Right.
And they give you an attitude when you interrupt their phone call. They get really mad. I'm like, I'm sorry, but
I thought you were speaking to me in Armenian.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'm a customer here, and I want you to do something different now.
I love asking them what, even I know they're not talking to me. I love doing that all the time. I'll do that 3 or 4 times in the same ride. If I hear the guy, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, not you. I just love to annoy them.
Here's what I want to know. Like, my mom calls. I want to talk for 2 minutes. I want to get out what I have to say. I'm like, all right, I got to go. These people are continuously on the phone with their families abroad, like on Vonage, like calling their families in other countries, talking ad nauseum. Like, what is so interesting about your village? Like, what cow died today? Like, I'm sorry that sounds so terrible, but like, how much news is happening?
That's a very good
show. This is a 45-minute ride from LAX to my house. You've been on the phone with her the entire time?
I don't want to talk to anyone that long.
No one.
No.
I don't want to do anything for 45 minutes.
I can't think of one person.
Sometimes they're on speaker, too. Like, when they're in a foreign language.
Really?
Yeah, I've had Indian guys do that, or wherever they're from, where they know you don't understand them. And they're just having these conversations. You can hear the girl like, and it's like it's so private.
It'd be so funny if they were describing you because they thought you were the serial killer. Just in case they die.
They're actually just making fucking terrorist plans. Knowing I understand.
I was going to ask you. Whatever. You got it.
They sent me I will say this because I spend so much money on Uber, and by so much money I just use them so often. Sometimes if I don't feel like parking at a comedy club, I'll take an Uber. And they sent me a free T-shirt.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What a shit.
$8 grand later. I know.
So, Eliza, what have you been up to? We haven't seen you in a while.
I was on the Tonight Show last night.
Congratulations.
Oh, cool.
Thanks. And
how was it?
I hear Fallon loves you.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me how much Fallon loves you.
He is so kind to me, and I found out last night that I am the only comic besides Jerry Seinfeld to be invited back on the show, to be on it more than once.
Wow, nice.
So that was exciting, and I have my new Netflix special. It's called Freezing Hot. It's a Netflix original, and it comes out on January 23rd.
Nice.
So we're excited for that.
Oh, good.
We'll definitely check that out.
Where'd you tape it?
I taped it in Denver.
Really?
I think, you've been. It's a great city for comedy.
Did you do some pot jokes?
I did not. I did not pander. I did not.
You didn't go there,
Did you mention how high up you are?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm cool.
Any
Is
oxygen
anyone else
jokes? Nothing?
No, but it is the only city where I've almost passed out on stage. It almost
You could really
happened
feel it?
I did, and I have a very fast act, and so I'm out of breath frequently, and I started seeing spots, and it was at a Comedy Works, and I remember thinking, like, is this the show where I pass out?
No
you
kidding.
ever have thoughts like, you're like, is this a show where I vomit on stage?
Oh my God!
Is this going to be?
It became this paralyzing thing at one point where I was afraid for years. A couple of years, I went through this period. I think when I started doing theaters, I would feel so alone and isolated and frightened that I thought I was going to vomit on stage or pass out. Yeah, I used to have to stand there and hold the stool to ground myself.
For a second.
And I finally, one time I would have buckets like before the show put on the side of the stage in case I puke.
Had you ever?
No. But it was just this fear. It's a fear because you're afraid performing. It's a scary thing. So it's this helpless feeling.
Wow.
And it comes out that way. Like, I just feel alone and helpless up here. What the fuck do I... it's like, if I have to puke, there's nowhere. And then I finally just said, you fucking cocksucker, just vomit. Just do it.
Just do it. If you're going to do it, just do it.
Just puke in front of the
kill me.
audience.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Which I think would be so punk rock.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a great moment for you guys?
It would be.
Who cares?
People would film it and it'd be like, comedian pukes on stage.
I think you should purposely puke on stage.
Puking wouldn't bother
Get it
me,
over
but,
with.
Pooping.
But it went away. Like, the fear went away then. Like, if you pass out, you walk through it and go, all right, what's the worst that can happen? I fucking faint.
Yes.
Then they pick me up.
When you, anytime I get sick or anything, if I always ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? Like, the joke isn't funny, or what's the worst that could happen? I don't feel well on stage. And once you identify that fear and realize that it's not rational or it's not that bad, it helps you to move through it.
Man.
I've been sick before, like the flu. And the best thing to toughen up is when you realize nobody in the audience cares. And then you kind of stop feeling bad for yourself. Like, nobody cares. They paid to see you. Nobody cares that you have the flu. Fucking suck it up for an hour. You don't have to go to a day job. Suck it up for an hour.
And your adrenaline helps too sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It will kick in and like all of a sudden you feel a lot better.
It's muscle memory. Your act is muscle memory.
Right.
You just go through it. I've done sets where I don't remember the set after we did an overseas show for the military, and I was so sick, and I just chugged a Red Bull and I just went into it. I couldn't tell you what order the jokes
And it
were
worked
in.
too, right?
Yeah. You
Of
do it
course.
enough, right?
So what did you think? You're going to vomit or pass out?
I thought in Denver, I remember one time I thought I was going to pass out because of the altitude and you forget about it.
That's a normal fear. I don't think that's an unhealthy, paralyzing thing when you're at that altitude to think. Like, to me, that's like, yeah, I'm sure like athletes feel that way too.
Sure.
It just makes you lightheaded?
I move around a lot on stage and I talk fast, and even at a normal altitude, I'll be out of breath sometimes. I was out of breath last night on the Tonight Show. I'd like pull the microphone away because you're bending over and you're talking really fast. And I was doing some bit and I popped up and I was like, oh God, this is when it happens. And I just like braced myself. Because you rarely pass out. Everyone makes jokes like, oh, so wasted, I passed out. No, you went to sleep.
Right.
Like there's a different, passing out is like your brain didn't have enough oxygen and something bad happened.
Well, Cosby. That's a pass out.
Or a drug-induced pass out, right.
Someone was asking a very good question over the weekend. Why do the women always wake up halfway through it?
Maybe his drugs weren't strong enough.
Yeah.
Why aren't they waking up long past?
Some did,
it all?
though.
It just took his time. I don't know.
Some did wake up at the end. They're like, yeah, he had a robe on. And plus, who knows? Maybe
most of them, though, are waking up halfway through and seeing him lurking over their bodies.
I wonder how long.
Doing some shit.
Yeah.
The gestation period for
I don't know.
a Quaalude or whatever.
Yeah, it's not fucking succinylcholine or whatever that stuff's called. It doesn't knock. It just probably puts you to sleep, but it doesn't keep you. It's like melatonin. Knocks you out, but it doesn't put you out if someone's touching you. I love melatonin. Where you fucking rules every night. 5 milligrams.
Every night for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it work?
It's great.
It helps. You used to give me bad dreams, but not anymore.
I need a little something.
Melatonin's great.
Little
And I
bit.
say it's not addictive, but I take it every night. But it's not habit form.
No, it's not a narcotic at all. It doesn't make
No.
you feel dizzy or light or high. It's just
an
what your
herb.
brain produces.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you heard of, do you know what lean is?
Lean.
No.
Okay, do you know what
I'm
this
looking
is?
at it.
I just learned the word. It's like scissor. You know how rappers drink like codeine?
Oh, yeah, I drink.
I
And
love the rappers doing the Sears zips.
Lean,
That's this guy.
Oh, you know about lean, Sam?
It's
Do ya?
that's what they call it down south.
Oh, I
Lean,
know what that
okay.
is.
Yeah.
Lactate, milk, and something else. Oh, what
It's
do
a
I know?
milkshake. It's an orange Julius.
I was,
No, it's codeine and something.
It's like codeine and sometimes
promethazine.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. But
What's the L?
And soda and Jolly Ranchers.
it's not. It doesn't stand for anything.
Who
It's just
invented this shit?
Black people.
Black people,
Like rappers, but you know ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
So ASAP, his name's ASAP Yams, I guess. He was like the leader of that whole group. He died like 2 days ago from an overdose of lean.
Wow.
And
Wait, the ASAP
Xanax.
Rocky guy died?
Yeah, not even ASAP, the whole ASAP crew.
Right.
Oh.
And my friend was like, because we were just talking about sleep aids, but he overdosed on that, which obviously he went out like feeling good, but like.
Wait, on
she was
what?
like,
What's in it?
the promethazine and codeine.
What's
That's lean.
promethazine?
It's like whatever's in cough syrup, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's a rap thing. But
And Jolly Ranchers?
And he.
Make it sweet.
Oh, they make it
How
sweet.
sweet with cough syrup? That would make me nauseous.
Because I think cough syrup tastes so gross by itself.
I would
Whatever it
hate
is.
that.
But he,
Isn't there better ways to get high than that?
sure.
Is there ice in it?
You could put, you could make a thing.
It could be iced.
Yams is dead
Scissor.
at
Lean.
You can get it
26.
iced or hot. He's dead. But here's my thing. Like, that's you're mixing Xanax and codeine. But you're also a person who want people to call you ASAP Yams. Like, I'm going to go by this. Right now, sweet potatoes. Like, I'm going to go by this, ASAP Yams, the rest of my life.
Oh, ASAP Rocky is a guy?
ASAP Rocky, if I sang the song, which I'm not going to, you'd be like, I've heard that song.
Please.
My dad.
No, I did actually foul in with ASAP
Rocky. Bad
Rocky.
bitches, that's my fucking problem. And yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. Finding somebody real is your fucking problem. Bring your girl to the crib. Maybe we can solve it.
I've never heard that.
You know
Big song.
I did a good job.
You did.
Can we hear it?
Can you? You can play music.
I like how they spell ASAP with the dollar sign.
Because they're all about their money.
I understand.
That life.
Oh, boy, those guys make big dollars. Can rappers fucking stop talking about how much... No one gives a shit.
And they don't actually... Most of them don't make a lot of money. All the shit's rented.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Your debt to your record company is forever.
Endless. The fucking same two topics. We get it. You're fucking cool. You fuck a lot of girls. You make it rain. Dollars. Right.
Are they still singing about the club? Or are they past that?
No, they're all in the club.
They're still in the club? When are they going to leave the club?
Exactly.
They're chilling.
And get an Uber.
What I think
back to their crib.
They get the Uber helicopter.
Right.
What I think is funny is a lot of them, for a while, the big thing to rap about was drinking Moscato. Like, I'm going to get this in the club. It is the sweetest, you may as well drink maple syrup. And like, I'm going to drink a bottle. You're like, are you? Diabetes face? Are you? Because they don't know what it is. They just heard it.
Oh, you don't drink a bottle of that stuff?
You don't even drink half of a tiny, like, dessert, demi-tasse.
Oh,
you wouldn't. It's so sweet.
Yeah, why don't rappers like espresso? How come rappers don't like a good strong? How about a Sanka
or a nice green tea, perhaps?
I can see some of them.
Yeah, piece of pound cake.
Sure.
They're not like old Jews. I don't know. Getting a nice piece of Entman's coffee cake.
I want to hear the song now. Can we play?
Can we play it?
Just a little bit
You want
of
me
it?
to sing it again?
Yeah.
All I have is the edited version, so maybe.
Yeah, you'll hear it. You'll be like, I've heard this in a car.
We hate edits. We hate edits, right?
Yeah. We
Lean makes you very, very sleepy, Ronnie in Texas wants to say. I think we figured that out.
Well, yeah, it's NyQuil.
Yeah.
Here.
All right. Sammy's got it. They got it on the YouTube.
I don't want to give you the bass boosted version.
Why not?
It's just...
I enjoy the bass.
My current situation. Man, hang on. Give it the...
You're going to really
That sounds
feel
good.
it.
That sounds great. What?
That's fabulous.
Oh.
Dad, this music speaks to me.
We got to wait through the whole ad. We don't even get a click out on this one.
You're going to feel this bass in your ball sack. What did you call it?
Ball bag.
Ball bag.
We could go yam bag.
And your yam.
I think that I think Dice used to call it a yam bag, right?
That's
Kenny?
so gross sounding.
See, we could go yam bag.
This is a lot of work for just this one.
Ooh, look at the bitches. Bitches are cool.
This song's great.
Yeah, fucking problems, it says.
You know it, right? You've heard it.
No.
This is the whole song. There's actually no lyrics.
That ghetto ass scares the shit out of me.
Is that who did it, all these people?
Yeah. Drake and 2 Chainz and
boy.
Here it is. Your white male audience is cringing.
They just sing about shit.
I like women and I like sex. I like Drake, I'll tell you that much.
He's a man.
He's great. Did you see him host the ESPYs this year? Last year? Phenomenal.
Really?
I was at the ESPYs. I just want everyone to know that. He was phenomenal. So funny. The sketches were so good.
Really?
So good.
I'm going to look some of that up on YouTube.
Better than some comics I've seen host award shows.
No
Great.
kidding.
Yeah. You guys see some of the sketches he did with the guy from the Clippers.
And everyone's saying this Black Mirror, we got to give it a shot.
Black Mirror.
I think you just turned me on a new show. So many people calling in going, no, that show rules.
Tell you what, you're going to watch it. You're going to binge watch it. There's only 2 seasons, and I think there's like 4 episodes in each season, and neither have anything to do with the other. It is phenomenal.
I'm still trying to start watching Fargo. I'm so behind in my watching.
You got to do House of Cards.
And we got all the movies now. We got the
screeners.
screener copies
Yeah.
for the Oscars. I got every movie.
Ooh.
I got like all serious ones.
And I haven't seen any of them.
Fancy us.
Oh. Where you at with the Cosby thing?
You know, I think it's whenever a woman is assaulted or raped, for some reason our society immediately turns on that woman because we inherently hate women. However, and everyone's like, why did it take so long for him to come out? This guy owned show business for years, so you can't go up. So I can understand the fear and not wanting to ruin your own career, and also not knowing what just happened to you, not being sure.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a while to realize something horrible has happened. The amount of women that are coming out, it doesn't strike me as a witch hunt. it strikes me as legit. Like, these women have nothing to lose or gain by coming out.
Right.
So
they have money to gain, but I believe most of
some.
them.
Yeah.
Some are looking
These
at the
aren't,
money,
like,
maybe.
dumb girls. These aren't like gold diggers. These are like women, like older women.
Right.
Nothing about it.
And you make a good point. People really forget how much power Cosby had in the 80s and the 90s.
Thank you.
And the
he's
70s.
And the 70s, of course, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
When this wasn't talked about, when this wasn't a thing that was out in the open.
He still got a lot of power, but back then, oh my
Sure.
God, like you said, he pretty much ran everything.
And let's say, fine, you went out with him. Let's say you did fall asleep. Let's say you did wake up with him in a robe. The reason we have therapy is you can go back and re-examine things and be like, that was fucked up. What my mom did was fucked up. How my dad handled that was fucked up. Oh, I'm still reeling from that. And so it makes sense that some people will be like, you know what? Yeah, that I did get raped.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be someone hitting you. It can still be assault. So
Right.
I think there's some legitimacy there. I think we're very quick to dismiss.
We had the lawyer on Friday, maybe?
Who's lawyer?
For the new one, the Playmate.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
She's only 20.
She wasn't a Playmate, I don't think, was she?
Sorry, we keep saying Playmate. She's I think
Cyber girl.
she's a stripper that was at the Playboy Mansion.
She's got a bunny tattoo.
Maybe, probably, yeah.
Ooh,
And
she's a cesspool.
and I think she's only 26 now. I think she was 18-ish at the time.
Okay.
And the lawyer told her whole story on our show on Friday. But then Cosby's lawyer, we haven't had a show since, came out and said he could prove that Cosby wasn't in L.A. when she's saying all this went down. And now the lawyer feels so confident in his client. He's like, well, prove it then, man, because he feels pretty
Yeah.
good with the evidence he's got.
And what sucks as a woman is I believe all these claims, and I understand his co-stars defending him because you know him as like your loving co-star, not as that.
Yes, and you also have residual money at stake if they yank the show.
Right.
Jimmy's got great. I just interrupted you,
No,
but
no.
I want to give Jimmy a plug. His new special he taped in Boston. He's got
Where'd
great.
you tape in Boston?
Somerville
Theater.
Okay.
He's got great Cosby shit.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Great
I'd love a
Cosby
good
shit.
joke at the expense of anyone.
But anyway, you were saying.
No,
I
I
totally
just,
interrupted you.
what's unfortunate is, as legitimate as any of these claims could be, the second you said she was 26 and I heard Playmate, and I hate that my brain went this way, I was like, liar. There's something about the fact that you hang out at the Play Mansion that takes away all legitimacy from anything you're going to say to me.
And there might have been a prostitution thing a little bit
And
in
it's just,
there.
all these women are
that
older.
they kind of looked the other way. Like, I don't think she was officially charged, but she was giving a lap dance.
And if she's lying, she should be hanged, and I'll tell you why. Because all it takes is one person lying
Right.
to make everyone else sound like they're lying.
Well, there's a couple of things I think, I have a conspiracy theory.
But she might have been raped, and I feel so bad if she was.
Well, no, she said he was sucking her toes and jerking off when she woke up.
That's fine.
One is she's lying.
Fine, just relax.
And that she would, maybe Cosby was not at the mansion and she's making it up. Or maybe she just has the date wrong. Or more importantly, what it could be is a conspiracy thing. Maybe Cosby's people get one and push her out there. And maybe there's a deal made where you're going to go out there and you're going to make these accusations on something that is extremely easy to be disproven.
Right.
And then she makes this agreement and says, "Okay, I'll do that. I'll take this for this amount of money." And you go out there and you make these.
That's a big
I'm
risk.
totally speculating,
Right.
But you go out there and you go, "He raped me. This guy did this. Blah blah blah. Fuck him." And then all of a sudden the lawyer goes, "No, here's his plane ticket. This is where he was." And the whole country goes, "That sounds like a bunch of bullshit."
And then, of course,
and all of a sudden you
And
look
all
like
of them
you didn't
don't
do
work.
anything.
Wow.
Like you said, then everyone is
That's
a
my
liar.
theory.
Right.
If she's not telling the truth, that's my theory as to why.
He got a
Right,
standing
right, right.
ovation in, where was it, California?
That's good.
But here's it's like I guess at one point,
protester.
if you're buying
One protester in California?
yeah, one was
And a
escorted
standing
out.
ovation.
And by
You
the
pay
way,
to see his comedy, so it's like if you can separate the two.
I
Yeah.
can.
You can.
I would love to see Cosby. I've never seen him before. I would take that ticket in a
I have a
second.
problem with someone that raped. I don't
yeah,
wanna hear
20
it.
or something rapes. And it's hard to separate.
I know.
You
And
set
then
me
I
up.
didn't mean to set you up. As you were saying, I was like, wait, I don't agree with my own point.
You just clobbered me in the face.
I have no allegiance even to myself.
I just got hit by an Uber car.
That is not.
Jesus.
How did it smell?
I got
That's
all
not what
excited because I'm like, yeah, I could separate the two. I mean, it's Cosby. I want to see him before he dies.
To my point, that your point was to my point.
Oh, my God.
No, that's not what I meant. I
feel
want
like
to
a
come back to your
scumbag
show.
now.
There are times, it depends on what it is, and because I'm a woman, because it happened, it's different. There are plenty of, athletes where we look the other way, or Michael Vick still gets the plane you can root for him, even though he did the horrible thing to dogs.
Yes.
So it's where your moral barometer is.
And Ray Rice wasn't officially charged with anything or convicted of anything, right?
That woman stayed with him, so that is on her.
The harder part about stand-up
That was a rough one.
is when you're watching a guy talk.
I mean, she's got to go.
It's a bit
People
more
are talking to me in my ear.
It's a bit more intimate, and you feel like, why isn't this guy talking about? Like if Cosby was up there talking about it and defending himself,
yeah,
I would say, yeah, I could go see him. But with the fact that he's just blowing it off and not talking about it, or not addressing it at all. It's kind of like hard to buy anything. Like, I can't listen to you talk about your fucking... It's almost like with this gigantic black cloud over, I can't pretend that that's not happening while you're talking about, my wife made cake better, or whatever shit you're talking about.
Yeah, but what about the lady doth protest too much kind of thing?
What do you mean?
If he talks about it, then it's like, what are you trying to prove?
Well,
Like,
there's
you're
a lot-
almost screwed either
well,
way.
yeah, that's true.
Just to quote Shakespeare.
He did have the one
Furious.
joke on it, though.
He improv the joke, and they gave him shit about that.
Yeah.
It's
be
a
careful drinking around me or something like
tenuous situation.
By the way, why did you say it happened? Did you mean to you it happened?
What?
You said for reasons I couldn't get this out of my head because it's rape and because it had. You didn't mean to you, did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want to clear
I
that
meant
up.
to the other women.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is where I want to drop that bomb.
Okay.
And that's why I'm a comic. Good night. Good morning. No.
Yeah. But one protester and a standing ovation.
It's interesting how the feminists have not really been out in force in a lot of these places.
Because women inherently do hate other women.
I'm not saying that they should be either, but it's amazing how involved they get, and how, online, you tell a joke that's inappropriate or whatever.
Right.
They want you fired. They want you. He made a rape joke. Boy, they fucking can't blog fast enough about a rape joke.
Well, you're saying, but I mean, look, all of his stuff got pulled. Like, there were repercussions for the alleged action.
No, but I mean getting out there and actually protesting a guy who's doing a live performance.
Right.
I never agree with protests like that because I can always separate it. But if there's 20 strangers saying that you drugged and fucked them, to me, common sense dictates there's something there.
Sure.
It's
Absolutely.
And yet all they'll do is blog about it. They don't get out there and try to...
I think most people, that's their answer. I don't like something, the anonymity of my screen is enough for me, and I'll just throw rocks, but then I'll hide. If you are not brave enough to say it in person or show your face, then you don't count.
Right.
But you are right, though. They did yank his show. So there has been repercussions.
But at the same time, like, what does he care? He's got so much money.
It's legacy, though. He cares. That this is horrible. You imagine every day you don't hear a bad word about yourself.
It's over. Yeah,
and then you do, and it's squashed.
Sure.
And then some fucking comedian who looks like a South Park character goes out and fucking calls you a, and then all of a sudden, here it is, your worst nightmare.
Right.
I mean, it's Hannibal inadvertently did such a great thing because he fucking, because look at the guy, was it Jimmy Savile in England, who was like this beloved guy, and this sick kids advocate, and then he dies, and then there's hundreds of allegations that he was a kid fucker. Like this Pandora's box exploded that he was a child fucker, and invalid kids and crippled kids, like really fucking despicable stuff.
Gets.
Yeah. But he escaped all that. He escaped like he died.
It's all bad, obviously, but I mean, he went as dark as.
Are there any shining stars that don't get tarnished eventually?
Ozzy
Is there
Osbourne?
anyone? Well, give it a minute.
They're saying you got to go. This sucks. She's taping a Comedy Channel takeover.
I don't know how to do that.
Who you on Fallon with?
It was me and Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, nice.
You meet her?
Did you ever see her butt?
I didn't meet her. I didn't see
We
her.
saw her butt go by one day. We lost our minds.
She walked by, and
I don't know why you care about that, but
she's got a great butt.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be so embarrassing that I'm forgetting his name.
Oh,
now.
don't forget.
He's on the Hurt Locker. He was in the Hurt Locker, and he's on. Here it is. Anthony Mackie, really funny guy.
Yes.
But Jennifer Lopez. So I was really excited because the last time I was on, it was with Honey Boo Boo. So that was.
Weren't we trying to get him in here, Anthony Mackie?
I think so.
I'm sure he would love to do it. He was delightful.
I'm sure he was.
Probably yesterday was the day.
Jennifer
'Cause
Lopez.
He's probably in town for all that press yesterday.
Yeah, she
Who
came
knows?
in with a team of like 15 people.
She really does walk around with a lot of people.
We saw
It's
that
silly.
when she walked just by her studio. It was like
And
all
she's
these people for one woman.
Yeah, she's so tiny.
Tiny.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed to have all those people with you? I would fucking hate that as a comedian. It's
I
like
think
being
part of the
one
music
guy.
game.
What's that?
I think it's part of the game in music, like your entourage.
Right.
She left in a different coat that you came in with, like a pimp coat. She skinned like the one pink tiger that was in existence to wear it. It was cool. She didn't say hi to me.
Eliza Schlesinger.
Yes.
It's really exciting to see your career blowing up for real.
Thanks for always having me on, you guys.
Yes.
You are blowing up, though, and we're very happy for you. Freezing Hot, new stand-up comedy special premieres on Friday exclusively on Netflix. What else we got?
You guys can see me at Helium in Buffalo.
Right. February 5th through the 7th.
Yeah, that's probably the most immediate date. And then I'll be back in New York for Caroline's March 19th through the 21st.
So we'll see you then.
Eliza.com. It's so hard with a fucking capital I and a lowercase L.
Right.
We have to fix that. Eliza, ILIZA.com, and Eliza on Twitter.
I got them both.
All right, we're going to take
You
a
guys
break.
are so sweet. Thanks.
All right. Eliza was cool.
Yes. I like this song. New Metallica. Not New Metallica, but this song, Death Magnetic.
What's the name of this one?
Cyanide.
Travis picked some good songs.
I told him to play this.
Yeah, he's laughing too hard in there. You're lying.
No, it's just a joke that I was thinking of.
What was the joke?
One of Chip's jokes.
Fuck yeah. Glad you could stand up.
Let's do,
Oh, just the music. I hate these music beds.
I thought we were changing that. That's cool. What else is going on? There was a couple other things.
Rockin'.
Charlie
Hebdo editor criticized the U.S. media
for not showing the cover.
Yeah, and he said it quite well. They are cocksuckers. No, he didn't say it. That was just he said this cartoon is not just a little figure, it is a symbol. It is the symbol of freedom of speech, of freedom of religion, of democracy, and secularism. He told the Meet the Press host, Chuck Todd. He said when they refuse to publish this cartoon, when they blur it out, when they decline to publish it, they blur out democracy. Now, of course, ABC, CNN, NBC, Associated Press, New York Times, Hollywood Reporter have not shown what has been billed as the survivor issue. I almost understand the Hollywood Reporter because they're not considered mainstream news. CBS, they did show it. Some publishers have restricted publication of it, but he said a great point. He goes, "We did not kill anyone. We must stop we must stop conflating the murderers and the victims. We must stop declaring that those who write and draw are provocateurs, that they are throwing gas on the fire. We must not place thinkers and artists in the same category as murderers." Wow, he's absolutely right. Right, you got to stop the thinking of, well, these guys are, they're just riling them up. Right. Like the Pope with that dumb statement. Even though I like this Pope, but it's like, shut up.
He's not going to get everything right. Yeah. So, I guess he's coming to New York in the fall. The Pope? Where's he going to go? Hang out in Central Park, maybe? The Great Lawn, do a little something over there? Yeah. And then he's going to Philly, I think, and somewhere else.
The Garden, maybe.
Garden.
Unless Louis doing it.
Yeah.
Louis just added a fourth night.
Yeah, the Pope has to wait for Louis' schedule. He's got to hold.
That means the third night sold out, so Louis added a fourth night. Yeah. I encourage everyone to go see Louis at Madison Square Garden. Very special for him. In a career that's just getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, and he got good reviews, too. The Times gave him a great review. The guy said it was a really flawlessly funny performance, and he was great.
And Louis continues to be extremely brave. He had Todd Barry open up for him, which is he's a brilliant comic. Don't get me wrong. I want to make sure I say this properly. But, he's so soft-spoken and stuff. I think other comics would have went, I think I need someone with a little energy. It's Madison Square Garden. But that's Louis, man. He just knows. Yeah. He just knows that would work at Madison Square Garden. And Todd Barry had a great set as well. He did a long set, too, for a warm-up.
What, he did 20 minutes?
I think he did about 20, sure. And he got huge laughs. And that soft-spoken delivery of his at Madison Square Garden. But
a lot of them know him from the show, too.
True. Yeah, that one episode with him where they go through his day is just a brilliant episode.
And if you want to talk about worthless piece of shit of the day, man cashes in 500 pounds of pennies that he has saved for over 60 years.
Jesus.
60, you've been saving pennies since 1952. Take a guess how much money he got. Don't look. Take a guess.
I just saw it.
Sam, guess. Or did you see
I just saw it.
$7,000.
Travis, did you see the story?
I sent it to you.
Oh, you said, okay, I wasn't sure if you read it.
Is this real?
How much was it?
This is why he's worthless. $816.
Over 60 years?
Yeah. What did he find? 1 penny a month on the sidewalk and save it?
Why bother?
$800 over 60 years.
He had to haul around that 500 pounds of pennies from house to house. And
how much is that a year? Can you divide 60 by $800? I want to know how much money a year in pennies he saved.
Well, that would be about 12, 13...
816?
14. Let's go 14...
Divide 60 years?
60
14,
years.
Not even 13. I'm going to go with $13.50 a year.
$13.60 a year. Very
okay,
good.
great.
Not bad with the math skills still.
So that's basically $1, say $1.10 a month. What is it?
Yeah,
more or less.
So he walked around with his fingers smelling like period pussy for $1 a month. What an asshole.
Truly an asshole. And did he figure out that some of the pennies he collected from 1952 might be worth more of the individual penny itself? Or did he just throw it in one of those change machines?
He put 500 pounds in a Coinstar.
When'd you fucking go, wait?
Really? No, we went to a bank.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you be sitting there going, wait, if I got pennies from 1952, there's got to be at least one in here that's got to be worth a few thousand.
I don't know if it would even be worth driving to the bank and having to lug around 500 pounds.
Yeah.
If all I was going to get back was $800.
And doesn't the bank force you to put them in those rolls?
He probably did.
So he had to roll up that shit?
And you know, a cheapskate like this did not have a coin roller machine. He did them all by hand.
He probably did them over time.
What a zero.
Yeah, I have change saved, but...
And he's 81.
Yeah, he probably said, I'm going to cash it in. And what's he going to do? He's going to do something really cool with the money, though.
Yeah.
He said he'll keep
buy
the
a
money.
sandwich?
Yeah. No, he's going to build a room divider in his house. You're 81. What are you going to do, just to put the coffin in? What's that for?
Well, now it makes sense, though. He's had that nagging wife for 65 years, and he's like, fuck, oh, my pennies. I can finally get
That's why he's been saving. She's been annoying him since the 50s, and every penny, he's like, someday I won't have to look at that bitch every morning.
I just earned another brick.
He saved up
for my
$60
wall.
for a wall.
Right.
60 years for a wall.
Would he be cooler if the only reason he was doing this was to annoy her? If she was like, why are you saving those pennies? He's like, just to spite you.
Yeah.
I'm going to save them up.
You know how many pennies it was?
I'm going to guess around 81,600.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's easy enough. I guess we did. But,
Did you get that right?
An idiot. Yeah.
That's incredible.
81,600 pennies. And it took the bank over an hour to count them.
Yeah.
Who cares? That's nothing.
But
they probably had a bunch of people, though, right?
Wouldn't it be great if he spent his money something crazy? He used the money to go to Vegas and have his ass eaten by a girl. he's never had experienced analingus. And he has stage 11 cancer of the face. So he wants analingus.
It'd be the feel-good story in the newspaper.
Yeah, or he's going to hire someone to punch minorities. He's just a racist who wants to see like black people and Jews get beaten up. So he's hiring someone with his $800 to assault people of other races.
Mad.
Yes.
All right, well, we got that going on today.
He's trying to take his money and pay a woman to make a duty on him. That's what he wants. He wants to go to shit on him. Why would I say that?
I don't know. Why would anybody wait 60 years just to perform coprophilia?
You can probably find a homeless person do that for you by Thursday. Why would you wait so long?
For $9. Coprophilia. Fuck yeah, coprophilia if you rest you.
Cop?
Get it?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
it.
got it.
Chip was a big hit on stage in Somerville.
Mm-hmm.
Did he show up on stage?
Maybe he did. Maybe he was a
It was a big hit.
Yeah.
You got to get that and just throw it online if you're not going to use it in your special.
I don't know if I will or not. I'm not sure.
Oh, you might use it in this.
The mailing list will find out.
I'll be the first to know. If I scroll past the template, then I can find the body of the message.
I will have the template out probably next time.
You will? Yeah. That's your goal?
Yep.
I know Jimmy's a huge fan of Billy Crystal. And he's doing a show with our pal Josh Gad, who I'm certainly a huge fan of. Especially after he left that message for my kid, as Olaf.
Yeah, it's nice of him to do that for all those kids, like everybody up here.
But I think Billy Crystal's being an asshole. I heard you, Sam. I'm just going to move on. Because he was in that, he played like a woman in Soap, right?
No, gay guy.
Like a gay...
Jody's son. He's not saying the gay people on TV are bad. I think he's just saying the gay sex is a little bit much in his face.
Why is it a little much?
I don't know.
Is there a lot of it going on? You got the Modern Family sex thing. What else happens?
Yeah, I
don't think he's saying gay people. He's saying gay sex.
Like, what kind of gay sex are they showing?
I don't know.
And then he further clarified, saying he meant all sex.
Well, all right, well.
No, because he knew he was, like, going to get in a little trouble. So he says, well, if I just say all sex. What kind of sex is going on
TV?
What kind of...
Nothing, and...
What kind of gay sex? This seems like...
His
there's a lot more gay characters, but are they showing them have, like, gay sex in a TV way?
There's no way there's gay sex on TV.
They might show them kissing a little bit. That's about it, right?
They show hardcore fucking in a lot of TV. Yes, they do. They show hardcore fucking on the TV.
They do not.
Yes, they do. Everyone's got... Like, the fucking TV's got a bunch of peckers on it.
Well, his quote here at the end of it, he says, I see it, and I just hope people don't abuse it and shove it in our face. Well, that sounds terrible. To the point of it just feels like an everyday kind of thing.
But it worked out in his favor. He was
But
the
it
first
isn't-
openly gay character. He shoved that in everyone's face back in the day. No one, for the time that show was on, not many people wanted to really see that, Sam.
And also,
it was a very brave and edgy character he was doing, but wow, times are different back then.
it is an everyday kind of thing.
Huh?
Gay people?
Yeah.
Like, that's an everyday kind of thing.
Right.
For you.
Gratuitous.
Gratuitous.
Gratuitous?
He said
Wow.
gratuitous.
I'm enjoying this.
Gratuitous.
No, just say it naturally. You'll be fine.
Gratuitous.
What was that?
Oh my God.
You actually got it.
No, shut
No,
up.
you did.
I'm not doing it again.
Try it. Just say it naturally.
You got
Use the
your
word.
fucking soundbite.
You're saying it too often. How did he say it? Gratuitous?
Well, what's the word? Gratuitous?
Gratuitous.
What is it? Gratuitous?
Something like that.
I was watching Mickey Rourke's boxing match yesterday. It was really cool.
I can't believe he won.
It was bad?
He was at UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How does he look in person?
Like he does in the boxing match.
Gratuitous. I got it. Gratuitous. You got to slow it down a little bit. I worked it out, Sammy.
That was very, very
How's
good.
his face in person, Jimmy?
He looks like he might have had a little work done.
Really?
I can't speculate.
How close were you to?
I said all of them.
Wow.
I was back in Dana's room, hobnobbing.
I heard.
Back there.
Did you call him the wrestler?
No, it's hi. And I got.
I don't know what Billy.
What do you think of his boxing match? Stiff competition?
No, it wasn't
believable.
It wasn't really that good.
But why wouldn't he say, "Fuck it, let's redo this"? Because that is just not believable.
He's in amazing shape, though, Mickey Rourke. When you look at his body, the cocksucker isn't great. Let me see.
Isn't he in his 60s too?
Yeah, look at the physique on him.
Jesus.
Where he hit the guy in the back on the way down.
That's a rabbit punch.
That was terrible.
That's
the guy's
illegal.
act like he can't get up. It's the worst dive I've ever seen in my life. Go back. You got to watch the fucking knockdown. He's got his cowboy hat on.
Oh my God! This is so embarrassing.
This is where Mickey Rourke is a problem for me. How are you not embarrassed to be walking in with gold gloves and a cowboy hat? Come on, dude.
You think the fix was in?
Well, they're pretty much saying it was a fake fight.
100%
right?
they were saying it was a fake fight.
Yeah, the guy was saying
The guy said yes.
That's
it was
what his
fake.
hair looked like right there.
Why would he admit it was a fake fight if he was getting paid to?
Because they didn't pay him.
Really?
That's what I've heard. His hair doesn't really look good, Mickey. They're all body punches. Yeah, it looks fake.
Jesus, he's in great shape though.
He's got
Fuck.
a waterfall on his head.
His punches, I don't think they're hurting him that badly though.
The guy's just kneeling like he can't get up.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I think he's not as hurt as he's letting on.
All right.
Put his cowboy hat back on though, didn't he?
Oh my God! What happened to his face?
His hair looks weird.
That is so weird looking.
Does he think that looks good, the hair like that?
Well, I think he might be going for like a Bieber thing with the sweeping bangs.
Oh really?
He has bangs his age?
Look at his bangs.
They don't look good.
You don't think so?
No.
You should. That's the hair you should have for Chip.
Fuck yeah. No, Chip has a blonde hair and a blonde tail.
A rat tail?
A rat tail.
Nice.
Not even a mullet, a rat tail.
Rat tail. Fuck yeah.
That's so stupid.
And when I rock, it's fucking all over the place.
Is it like a buzz cut and then a rat tail or a crew cut?
You're
or-
a buzz kill.
That's very, very funny, Chip. Very good. Wordplay, Yuma.
Peckajuice. I like peckajuice.
What? Does Chip sing that by himself sometimes at home?
For hours.
For hours. We have our issues. You do that for hours. I'm putting a stupid toy together for hours that I have no desire to do. What's wrong with us?
At least you don't get voice texts from that toy.
What do you mean?
What was the voice text, and why can't we play it on the show?
Yeah, and I saved them all.
Oh, good.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which one you mean.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that I have friends at times who will send me voice texts even when I'm not asking for them.
This better be strong.
I got 2 tits and a pair of dice.
I forgot, yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, he sent Sam.
He's singing Eddie Money songs.
2 tits in a paradise, and then there was the other one he was thinking,
reworking some Eddie Money.
He was working clean, too. He had a clean version.
Oh, good.
What's up, suck? Tucker. I'll be there in a couple of minutes.
We weren't even going anywhere. Like this text was sent days after the last one and days before this was sent at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. That was Chip saying he was coming over.
That makes it very sad that it was on Christmas Eve.
You're going to get cool in your stocking. Apple Hey, Sam, it's Chipper. Over and out.
That's all it is.
Unsolicited. Unasked for. There's no conversation happening.
It's beautiful.
And this just pops up.
Yeah.
Let's see this one.
What would you rather text with? You fucking pecker or something? Over and...
Somebody hung up too soon.
Never gets it quite right.
No, he just doesn't.
Hey, what's up, Sam? It's Chipper. I'm out doing a little Xmas shopping. Over and out.
That's awful.
Xmas shopping. And he's purposely leaving off the G so it sounds cooler.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Update you on this day.
Right.
Yeah. I know that some of these people that we meet.
You didn't like the Meatloaf because Chip was trying to do the clean parody? I got toothpicks and a bag of rice.
Yeah, that was
hours.
Wow. By the way, I forgot to mention, Sammy.
Oh wait, there's another part to the song.
Oh, please.
Toothpicks and a bag of rice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick them right in your eye.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. We're wrapping up.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention with this dumb Rich Voss toy thing
Yeah.
that I am going to go and get another robotic arm edge.
Why?
Because I have to put the thing together properly. This one is now busted beyond repair. But I'm going to go to a toy store and get another one. I have to now complete this dumb thing.
I think that's a terrible idea.
I think it's not the smartest idea, but it's how my brain works, Sammy.
Who's going to watch your kids while you're doing that? Because this is a terrible gift for those kids.
Well, they'll probably leave me for a few days because they're not going to put up with that shit. How much is it, by the way?
It's like almost $50, $42.77.
Oh, I don't feel as bad now. I thought it was hundreds of dollars.
For that?
And here's another thing, Sam.
Yes?
You got to leave the toy for the Voss and Bonnie show tonight on this channel. Tonight at 7, they'll be in, and they could see what I thought of their gift. I will give Rich Voss a blowjob. A blowjob. What? It's going to sound a little hacky radio. I get it.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to acknowledge
2 tickets
that.
to a concert.
I will give him $2,000 if he could put this fucking thing together within 3 hours. Within 3 hours.
$2,000.
No problem. Cash.
2,000 buckaroos.
Cash.
What can I do for $2,000?
Work for 6 months.
So the word is out.
So does he have to do it in
I
front
get
of
it's
you?
a bit of a hacky radio
Does he have
bit.
to do it in front of you?
Well, because I'm going to get shit for not completing this fucking thing. I'll give him $2,000 if he can put it together within 3 hours on the clock.
2,000 bucks.
And it's got to work properly, too, by the way.
That's right.
So are we talking about doing this on the air?
Well,
2,000 buckaroos.
And how much money is on the line?
2,000 clams.
he could be in a corner, I don't care what day, and he just tries to do it within 3 hours.
But it's got to be
I'll give him $2,000.
It's got to be in front of you. Well, you got to see him doing
more
it.
or less. I mean, he could be outside the studio. We could set up some so he doesn't, disturb the actual radio show, and we'll check in or something. He's not going to do it, obviously, but if he wants to, I'll give him $2,000 if he can put that thing together in 3 hours.
You hear
3
that?
hours.
2K, you Jay.
But he's not gonna. He won't take up the
I
challenge.
don't know. Voss might be handy at this stuff.
You think?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
he might be.
I got scared for my $2,000.
Those little inept fingers.
He'll probably try to get that money, though.
Yeah, he'd want the money. I know that much.
The moolah.
There's no fucking way he does it in 3 hours. No fucking way.
Maybe. You put the offer out there, though.
We'll put it out there. Granted, it's a bit hacky. I get it. I'll acknowledge that. But it'll prove my point that this was just a nightmare gift.
And you have said many times on the show before, if you remember with the whole ketchup fiasco, you do not mind putting on bad radio to prove a point.
I said that?
Yes, you did.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a great way to fucking spin some shitty radio.
Yeah. If you are proved correct.
The ketchup thing was a simple one that everyone thinks, you know.
That was a hit.
It was a big hit.
But I knew that he was going to pick the America's Choice after all
I think
that.
we should redo it.
You want to, just to make sure? What?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Let's go 2 out of 3 falls on
Yeah,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
We could go mustard.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Does it work with relish?
Relish is relish. That one I think is just whatever.
You ever see relish at the end of a hot dog? I used to always put it on one end and go, look, pubes.
Did you really?
Really cute.
I need to know if you really did that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, okay. Of course you did. When I say you used to do that, you mean you still do that?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll run around with a handful of relish and a hot dog and I'll go, look, my pecker.
Oh, that's really good. Because the subtlety is what's important there. That's really fun.
James, what do you got? We got to get the fuck out of here.
I just have my regular gigs. Join the mailing list, folks. Big news coming soon.
Yeah, I would join the mailing list because you're almost guaranteed to see Jim Norton embarrassing himself.
Yes, Tempe, Arizona coming up the 30th, 31st. And Fox Theater, Foxwoods Casino, February 13th.
Nice.
Saturday the 26th, I'm doing Detroit for the first time in many years, the NDMO Celebrity Theater, because I'm a celebrity. And I'm doing the Mike Calta gig, Cowhead, with myself, Bobby Kelly, and Artie Lang. And tickets don't go on sale. There's a pre-sale tomorrow, by the way. The code word is Calta, C-A-L-T-A. And go to themahaffey.com, THEMAHAFFEY. It's going to be a great show.
Nice.
With Bobby and myself and Artie.
We should do one of those gigs for
Sandwiched
us.
between two giant fat guys.
We should do one of those gigs.
We should.
Maybe we could set up a little something.
Me, Seinfeld,
yeah,
and Cosby.
Cosby? Did you hear about everything that was going on with him?
No. To eating pudding.
All right.
It's very, very good, Chip. Very clever. Nobody would have thought of that.
Sam, Lady Di's waiting for you. So have fun with that.
Oh.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.